before I get to the end of my little speech tonight, it became the first affirmative action plan, but also put whites into a protected class. If you're in a protected class with the affirmative action and the Constitution, and then they set up the United States Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of the United States is the guardian of the status quo that was laid out for you all in the Constitution. Make sure whites up here and you're down here. The United States Constitution, the Supreme Court is the most racist organization on earth. They're the guardian of racism. That's why the first 57 people appointed to the United States Supreme Court were slave owners. And out of another 60-something that's been appointed since then, they're white racists. They never put a black man of any substance on the Supreme Court. They put one guy who was very strong. He was strong enough. The first black president. Personal Assembly Court. I love him. He tried the best he could. He's playing against the odds. The guy you got on it now, I don't even call that a black man. I don't even know what that is. What is that? What's his name? Clarence Wu?
Good day and gratitude, family. Yeah, I was watching Dr. Claude Anderson. It was on the Evans Rayola channel. EVANS RAYOLLAH. Evans Rayola. Yep, it was on his channel. And I was watching it. It's like 34 minutes long, but I hadn't been too long started and stuff. And we do have a Dr. Claude Anderson right here. More dirty little secrets. I think we got Powernomics too. I want to say we got Powernomics somewhere, but we can always order those. I can always order another set of his books because we do need it. He does have our Black Agenda, and also our brother with the Defiant Lawyers Network. He's got a Black Agenda also, Advanced 2026. So yeah, we definitely need to get plugged into those and stuff so we can catch up with those and stuff. But yeah, but it's good to see you all and stuff. I was really trying to be on time tonight, so I think I was. Yep, I think I was. Let me turn this on. I was wondering what we were going to start with tonight, but I think we're going to try another video tonight because, I was saying that, I really don't forgive anything that our ancestors have endured, and I don't, and I was, kind of like, I don't want y'all to feel like, yeah, I don't want y'all to feel like that. If y'all feel like y'all have to forgive, then, then do what you can do to sleep at night. Do what you need to do. Because we have been trained and indoctrinated, to forgive. That's what religion did. We forgive. Oh, good day, family. Good to see you, DSB. Shalom. Yeah, but I don't want to make anyone feel like, you shouldn't forgive or, you can't forgive or do what you must so you can sleep at night. I just know for me, I don't forgive. And, and I don't want, I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. I just want us to get that forgiveness to our ancestors. Let's forgive our ancestors. Let's forgive each other. And I try, to accept that, religion, just let us have our hope. So yeah, if you religious, fine. But we spiritual right here. I don't want, our faith to be a division with us anymore. I truly don't. But I want us to just start thinking about the things. Just start thinking about it, you know, and it'll resonate. How it's just so damn fickle. The whole little scenario they done came up with, the illusion itself that we done fell for a hook, line, and sinker. You know, if we just look at it differently, you know. So yeah, you know, I want y'all to know, if you gotta forgive so you can sleep at night and you can have peace, then you do that. Just don't come up in here with it, because I don't forgive. I do not forgive, no. And if you in the wrong channel and stuff, then go find somebody else. Because right here, I'm condemning it all. I'm condemning it all. I ain't giving mercy on nobody for what they done did to our ancestors. And you shouldn't either. If that's what everybody doing, teaching us how to just forgive again, then no, I ain't got nothing to do with them. I don't have nothing to do with them. If ain't nobody ready to call it out like it is, because we the ones that's fucked up. We're the ones that's fucked up through and through. I know everybody got some fucked up ones. Everybody got some weaklings, you know, some hard heads. I know this. But we are so traumatized through and through, like no one else. Like no one else. And it's going to take the miracle that we are. Where my book said? It's going to take the miracle that we are to save us from this. But we got to be ready to face it. Can't be worrying about white people and white America and what's going to happen. And what's going to happen, y'all ass going to get in them Tesla cars and stuff. And I was thinking that them smart cities, is that where them cars going to be taking y'all to? And you going to be there. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, you know. I ain't never thought like this. I thought stuff like this was just in the movies. You know, but yeah, maybe I be thinking too much and stuff, but I do be thinking. And, you know, I just want us to be able to sleep at night, be able to critically think, use our perseverance and stuff. All that they survived and stuff, we act like we ain't got no natural instinct. Like we don't have no natural instinct whatsoever. And that's just because, hey, we can't function no more with all this that's going on with us. We ain't had no healing. They won't let us just rest and just catch our breath. You know, let us at least have some type of creation for us. We scared to build anything. Black Americans, we are scared to build anything. We'll build a little bit. We'll go a little bit. But like we can do, you know, we can build Black Wall Street up like that, especially with all the technology and, you know, the tools and resources we got at our fingertips. But we can't do that. We know we can't do that. But we got to right now. We have to. Our very existence, our very lineage depends on this. This right here might be our last chance once these robots and stuff roll out here. This might be our last chance once these robots come out here and stuff. And let's get started. But this is Face the Nation. I am Face the Nation. And we are on Bolden Unchained. And we are here. If you didn't know, if you didn't guess already. Thank you for coming back. If you came back. And thank you for being here. If you're here, I just thank you all for your patience and your presence. Because, you know, I wasn't expecting all this and stuff. I just know the ancestors need to be remembered. Our ancestors need to be remembered. And ain't nobody making sure that happens. Ain't nobody making sure what they went through and endured. Everybody acting like it's just blasé. Oh, just whatever. Like it was a movie. Everybody acting like this was the movie. This was real life. This was our life. It still is. That's why we traumatized right today, because of what happened. What happened not too long ago. No, it wasn't too long ago. And we never had no healing and stuff. So we're here to assist Black America and Black media. First and final. That's it. That's our first and final concern right here is Black America. Black America's well-being, welfare, Black America's sanity. Cause to me, y'all seem like Black America losing our motherfucking mind. Our masses is yeah. I think we at the worst we ever been. On each other and, functioning. Individually and collectively. I mean, we ain't even left no outs. Well, they ain't left no outs. All these sabotages against us and stuff. I think, we really in dire straits. We in a crisis right now. The world seems like it's smoking. There's so much chaos and stuff going on out there and stuff. Is that the house that Martin was talking about? We in a burning house. Please get us out of this burning house. Let's get out of this burning house, y'all. I mean, but we just refuse to wake up. We just keep sitting there going through the same old thing. But yeah, we're here to assist Black America and Black media with the uncovering and the condemning of the many agendas, events, operations, projects, the many plans, codes, compromises. Oh, y'all, they got bills and laws. They got so many sabotages, studies, experiments on Black America. Now I just see they got courses. Now that video, I think we did try to watch it, but my YouTube was acting all, Stacy and stuff. My internet was and stuff. But I think it was in America. I didn't get to watch it, but I don't think it was an HBCU or, one of the other colleges. But the sister was looking at the classes and stuff, and it was a course about Black women, studying Black women. Yeah. When we do get to watching and stuff, I hope we might have to watch it the old-fashioned way, just with the TV. Yep, I hope she read what's inside the course. But she said that was it. It wasn't no course on no other group of people and stuff. And she was like, wow, why is there a course on Black women? Why are they studying? They studying for real like this? Yeah, she must have went to one of them other folk colleges. Yeah, I think that's what it was too. She went to somebody else, not a white college or a Black college, somebody else college, I guess. But yeah, maybe we'll get to watch that and stuff because that's all it is about us. Everything is about us. I know it don't seem like it. Yep, I know it don't seem like everything is about us, but it is. It is. Oh, yes, we have no idea. It ain't like the many agendas that's been going on for decades. It's just going to come to a halt. I mean, I truly had no idea. I truly thought Black America was all right, honey. I found out everybody done lied and steered us and condoned and went along with everything possible that could have changed the way we are with each other, the way the world is with each other. Everybody missed a chance. Everybody did. Trying to hate on Black folk. Hating the Black man. Hating the Black man. Now here we are, mankind and humanity at stake. Mankind and humanity at stake. And yeah, for what's happened to our people, yeah, I blame white folks for what we going through, for what Black America going through. Yes, I sure do, honey. For our discipline, ignorance, our self-hate. I think this is where it comes from. I know. This right here is why we hate each other. Why we can't come together. We can't stand to see each other because of this right here. Yep, we feel like, dang, y'all let them folk do y'all that like that and stuff and didn't even fight back. Because they got us helpless since the very beginning. They got it like we just helpless, couldn't, and we weren't. We didn't have no means, no resources. During this time right here, after slavery, when we were free, the stores and stuff wouldn't even sell us weapons to protect ourselves. But somewhere along the way, the black folks, we turned on each other. Right there at them tarot cards. Because white folks started tarot cards. White folks the ones started drive-bys. They were doing riding in tarot cars and they cars in black people neighborhoods. It was in the book Racial Violence in Kentucky in 1865 to 1940. The second book that we read, it was in that book. And white folks getting in their cars riding and driving through black neighborhoods shooting. Just randomly shooting. So black people got in their cars and started riding through white neighborhoods randomly shooting. At one point, they ride through each other neighborhoods. Just drive-by shooting. And theirs was called tarot cars. Cars, C-A-R-S. And somewhere along the way, honey, they stopped shooting in black folks' neighborhood. And black folks stopped shooting in white folks' neighborhood, but started shooting in our own neighborhood. That's why, like, you know, it's like, wow, they're killing each other. They turned the gun on themselves. You know, it's a whole diabolic manipulation, psychological thing that's going on. And yeah, we can't even think our way through it. Yeah. We can't even think our way through it. Hell, I know shit. I've been distracted my whole life. Ever since I lost a book that was like this. Ever since I lost a book that held my attention. That's why, y'all, we got to get our babies back on track with our knowledge. We got to be creative as we are. Every child that come in our presence around us, we need to have a story on hand. Yes, have a story in mind. That quick. Even if it's the same one, you can build off of it. Robert Smalls, the one that stole the Confederate ship. It ain't brutal or nothing like that. No, it ain't brutal or nothing. He just stole the ship from their ass. And him and the crew got to safety with the Union Army. Yep, I always have it on mine and stuff. Watch their little brain just light up. Yeah, and they're going to remember his name too, Robert Smalls. Yeah. Well, I remember it because, you know, they made him feel that small, making him learn how to pilot that ship, the planter. But, honey, it planted an idea is what they did. Yeah, so we got to start with our babies, honey, because they the ones going to find out how to get y'all out of them Tesla cars. See, I already know. I ain't going to be in no Tesla car. Ain't nobody getting me in nothing. I will walk where I'm going. Sure will, honey. You will see me with my backpack and a stick. Walking wherever I need to go before I end up getting in somebody's Tesla car. So I'm telling y'all, Black America, don't do it. Don't do it, honey. No, you better know. Yeah, so we looking through a spiritual lens here. We ain't looking through no religious lens here. No, not right here. Any forgiveness we got, we giving it right here to the ancestors. Y'all that forgiveness for everybody else that's done did these things and condoned it and stuff. Dr. Joy DeGrasse said, how long will white folks gonna keep this a secret? And I want to know too. I want to know too, see y'all, because we done sat here and they ain't even got an answer for none of this. We blaming each other for how we are out here. And we should. We should. We got to take accountability for what we've let happen. Shit, I know at some point we knew all of it was sabotages. We just kept ignoring it. Because here they've been showing us. We've been seeing it. We just want to keep up the illusion, keep the peace. So, yeah, we got to take accountability for our part and stuff. But, honey, this whole manipulation thing, it's got us sick. Yeah, they told us that we had Drapertonia for wanting to escape the plantations. Honey, we got Drapertonia because our asses stand, you know, with white folks. Not because we want to escape. I mean, who would tell somebody that? Trick somebody like that? Oh, if you try to escape, you know that make you crazy, that make you mental. Just tell us anything. Just tell black folks anything. So, yeah, we here to discuss it. We finna uncover it, condemn it. Why shouldn't we? As long as they've been studying us and discussing us, renaming us. Why we can't do the same? Why we gotta apologize for it and hold ourselves in check? Oh, you doing too much now. Hell, everybody ought to be doing something, feeling something. Don't tell me I'm the only one with some feeling now. Because I don't believe that shit. Our asses is scared. That's what it is. That is what it is, honey. Don't sit there and act like, oh, I'm the only one that really feel like this. See, we got to find our personal freedom so we can have our, our love and our faithfulness for us. We can't even be loyal to us. We can't even feel for our own ancestors that literally saw the demon, saw Satan in the flesh. In the flesh. I'm not finna sugarcoat nothing for us because we done had enough of that. That's why we're here right now. That's why we believe in right now that we part of everything. We ain't part of nothing. We're going to find ourselves behind them smart cities. That's where you're going to be. Black America, keep playing. That's where you're going to be. And everybody else going to be out here. Who going to be black then? White people or other folks? I'm just asking. Somebody that be thinking. So yeah, don't sit here and put me all by myself because everybody can leave. If that's the case, shit, why we gonna keep lying to us? I'm supposed to keep lying to us too? Oh, just let it be. And do y'all know we about to be extinct and re-enslaved? However you want to phrase it. I didn't even know self-hate was really called discipline ignorance. But see, that's the real name for it? We got the generic name, self-hate. But see, we know what the hell that is. We know what self-hate means. Yeah, we know you better not look at sister too long. Sure better not. You better not look at sister too long. You better be ready to say, oh, sister, you look like Anita Baker. Girl, your hair, you look just like Anita. You better be ready to say something. Because, see, we irritate each other. I ain't even got to say nothing. We ain't even got to say nothing. We like two betas in a 10-gallon fish tank. Yep, because we've been brainwashed like that, indoctrinated like that. We've been made our own enemy. Yep. Well, honey, we ought to be so protective over us. It ought not be nobody nowhere can say nothing about a black person. You better not open your mouth to say nothing about no black person, and you better not try to hurt them. That's how we supposed to be. That's how we used to be. Hell, somebody done woke up with me, ain't it? Shit, we all, at one time, we all would have been on this right here. You ain't gonna forget a thing you done did to us. But we really act like white folks done repented, repaid. What did brother Augusta Corbett with the lawyers, with the Defiant Lawyers Network said? He said repudiate. They need to repudiate. But I just said repent and repay. But what they said too, what the family said too. I support all of us. What's your suggestion? Sure do. Yeah, I don't forgive nothing right here. I'm not sorry. Yeah. There's many other people out there that, they okay and, act like we done healed. And we have not healed. Everybody know we ain't healed. Talking about what's wrong with Black America? Well, they ain't got no culture. That's how they is. That is their culture. That's how they are. Yeah, you got away from God. You started doing drugs, selling drugs and stuff in your own neighborhood, bringing drugs in and stuff. You quit school and stuff. You ain't got no education. Yeah, we self-hating each other. The worst way. We are our worst enemy. I was my worst enemy. Sure was and didn't even know it, honey. Yes. Didn't even know it. All that because forsaking us. Forsaking us. The good, we got to take the good, the bad, the ugly, the savage, the ravishness. We got to take all of that. We need healing from all of that. We ain't hardly had no good. Even now, we ain't physically enchained in a long time, But we have a whole lot of bad, you know. We done seen the ugly in just our lifetime. Now the savageness, oh yeah, we the ones that done felt and seen, you know. And it's even in us. That's why we got this intense fear and knowledge. Don't you upset. Don't you get Miss Kathy and, you know, Karen them upset and they don't know what's finna happen. And we wasn't even physically there, but we know. It's like an instinct. You know, we know to keep that peace. Yeah, you know to keep that peace and stuff. Keep them calm. You sacrifice whatever you got to. And then the ravageness. Ooh, wee, honey. I don't know. I can't even get away from them two words. Then they're going to come up with the movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Ain't said a word or a whisper about the savageness, the ravishness. None of that. And we all off into the westerns and stuff too. I ain't put on Bass Reeves or nobody. Because I didn't even know they existed. You know we got a Bill Pinkett rodeo. Honey, I want to go to the rodeo. Sure do. Yep. I want to go to the black rodeo and see my brothers on the horses and stuff. Sisters too. Yes, honey. Rodeo. I want to say it's in Atlanta somewhere, but that's what it's called, the Bill Pinkett, where it's in that other book. I think that's the name of the Bill Pinkett Rodeo. Bill Pickett. Pickett. Yes. Honey, we got to start teaching our babies and stuff. Look at all this right here. We supposed to be teaching them. We got our babies sitting up in school with their asses here. They don't like our kids. Our kids are like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to even be here and stuff. Their mind is just like cut off. Ain't nothing resonating. You know, can you imagine what our babies got to go through? Especially today. Now, when we were going to school and stuff, I liked the school. And they weren't even teaching me shit. They weren't teaching me nothing, huh? They ain't taught me nothing in school. Nothing that I needed to know. Shit had me thinking Christopher Columbus was a hero. I really was thinking Christopher Columbus was a hero. I probably made the turkey, the little hat with the feathers on it that you make with the color paper and stuff. I probably made everything. Colored the coloring paper, you know, then they give you the white paper. Yeah, and you color that and stuff. I liked the school and stuff. They weren't teaching us nothing, honey. Even if it wasn't resonant, well, I go on and do it too. Because I was good at it. I liked it being on time and having new notebooks and stuff. Honey, I should have been learning this. We supposed to be learning about us. That whole curriculum they got is wrong. What I think is right before we got ready, after the war and stuff, they knew we finna get ready and we free. White folks held off as long as they could before we actually left them plantations, y'all. And I think it's because they did an overhaul of everything. They sure did, honey. They took everything and put it in the attic, put it in the basement, locked it in the room. Yep. Put it outside in the bunker. But don't you let them get a hold of this right here. Yep. Put it in the very back of the school. Yeah. Our brightest minds can go back there and study. Just don't let the big brains get to it. But, you know, yeah, things happen. The cosmos really had to step in for us. We too traumatized to do anything. Yeah, so we are looking through a spiritual lens here. Everything is spiritual. Yep, everything right here is spiritual. You might hear some stuff that you be like, well, where did that come from? But if you start thinking about it, I mean, really start thinking about it. Then, you know, you might be like, wow, that is worth considering, you know, critiquing. Look at all the other stuff we believe. Don't even ask no questions. We don't even ask no questions. I know, you know, y'all already feel it, don't you? I'm going to get us a Bible because I know a lot of us, you know, we do believe in that and we do need hope. But hey, who said it's got to be what the white man gave us? It's still hope. It's still faith, ain't it? Why come it can't be true to us? Our vision of that hope, that faith. See, where I'm from and stuff, yeah, it's just God and Jesus. And well, I guess if you would say Mary, but you know, she white too. But it's just God and Jesus. Mary ain't even got nothing to do with heaven. You see God and Jesus in heaven. You see Mary with the baby. So, it's very different. It's slightly different for us. We didn't get that same knowledge there. Most of the people where I'm from and stuff, we ain't got the education there. We ain't in the same brackets that a lot of folks is in and stuff. So we see things a little different. We get it different. We get it late, if we get it at all. So when you say Jesus Christ, everybody that I resonate with and stuff, because I don't even know y'all. Shit, for all I know, y'all could be bots and stuff. That's why, y'all ain't finna come up in here and sway me. But the people that I know and stuff, us down here, the real people that I know and stuff, we see like Jesus and God is white. Yeah, that's how we were taught and stuff. God and Jesus is white. When we say Jesus Christ, somebody be like, "Oh, Jesus." It's a white man that come into our mind and we don't even know it. And now we know. Because y'all know we go to church. Y'all know down south we go to church. Oh, yeah, you're going to be in there hungry. You can't wait till that. What you have when they give you the little pill and you take it, the cracker. And you drink the little grape juice and stuff. You be wanting to take a handful of them little crackers and stuff. You be so hungry up in there and stuff. I ate all the peppermint that your mama had in her purse. But yeah, you go to church. But yeah, it's just, it means different. It's different for us, especially now, especially today. We got to look at it like that and stuff. Yeah, I get into it and stuff, don't. So, yeah, we look through a spiritual lens of loyalty, faithfulness to our ancestors, to us, forgiveness to us, only to us. We need some of that now. We need some of that now. Now, the faith and forgiveness that you done gave to white America and stuff, don't let them have it. Don't let them have it. If you squeeze some more to give to it, fine, do what you got to do. But you better be sure you give your ancestors some forgiveness and some loyalty and some faith. Because right now, honey, this is a spiritual thing. This is spiritual now. Yep, in Black America, you better know who's who when they get back. I know, we waiting on white Jesus to come back. We sure is, honey. We waiting on that man to come back. But I tell you, honey, when Khalid and them come back and Simeon, Toko, and our ancestors, John Hartfield might be the one in the lead. This who deserve to come back. If anybody come back, it's going to be our ancestors. Why in the hell do we think a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes is finna come back to save us? All of our family. These are our Jesuses right here. I'm not sorry to tell us. I am not sorry to tell us, honey. If anybody come back to save us, that's what we believe, ain't it? Somebody coming back to, wait a minute. It don't even matter the name. Don't y'all believe somebody coming back to save us? I don't even care what the name is because I don't call them that. I just leave cosmic energy as it is. It's cosmic energy. It was before anything ever was. So I leave it there. But y'all believe that person coming back for us to save us instead of believing your own people is coming back to save y'all. You see how that don't even make sense, and it took me a long time to get it out. Yeah, it took me a long time to get that out. That Black America really believes anybody other than our own people who were treated in the most unimaginable ways, unspeakable. If I'd have known I was going to be like this, I was going to react like this with this right here, I probably would have had a faceless channel. Y'all wouldn't have known who the hell faced the nation there, what she looked like. Shit, is that really her voice? Shit, why she sound like that? You sound like a man. That's a man. Y'all wouldn't have known who the hell. If I'd have known that this right here, this book right here was going to really expose to me how much we been made like a motherfucking fool. Yeah, I'd have had a faceless channel. I sure would have, honey, because I'd have been, I'd have came out the bag on everybody. Treat us like we ain't even got no sense. And we act like we don't even know. Let me get this out the way right here. Because, we looking through a spiritual lens here. Yeah, and I do cuss. Every other word in this language is a curse. It's a curse. Every other word in this language. So you cursing and I'm cussing. Yeah, you cursing and I'm cussing. So, you can go and leave if you want to, because you ain't going to curse me, and then I won't have to cuss you. Because I'm talking about bless you, be less you. See, even the language hits different for us. These people kept a mask on us, a black mask. I mean, a face mask. Sometimes a little bitty mask, sometimes a big mask. The one brother that kept escaping, when they caught him, they had the mask with little spikes coming out of it. So when he run, it'd get hooked on the branches and stuff. So this language right here is really a curse. Why wouldn't it be? It's really a curse. They had to break our languages and make us learn this language. So why wouldn't it be a curse? Good morning, good morning. Don't say that to me, because when every time people say that to me, honey, I send it right back to them. Sure do, honey. You can't say good morning to me. I don't care if it's online. So I look at some good morning face, and I send it right back to them. Sure do. If you could just see it, honey, it'd be like I'll be over here. Choo, choo, choo. I'm like, don't come over here with that time. Can I pray for you? I'll be like, to who? Yeah, I'll be telling us that it's so who you trying to pray for? Yeah, I should have took that Bible one. One lady, a sister, tried to give me a Bible. Yep, and honey, it had the video. It was the Bible, the video, and she had wrote down some scriptures. Yeah, when I see her again, I'll tell her I probably want it. Yeah, because I've been saying I'm going to get a Bible. I've been saying it. So if I see her again, I'll let her know, and I'll probably give her a few dollars for it and stuff, But yeah, she had a gift for me. And I was joking and stuff, but she said, I got something for you. And I was like, what is it? Then I said, oh, don't tell me it's a Bible. And it was. It was a Bible, honey. She said, take this. I was like, honey, I cannot take that. I said, I am not going nowhere with white Jesus. Yep, you go there by yourself. And she said, I know he's black. I said, when close your eyes. I told her, close your eyes. We closed our eyes. I said, now what? I said, Jesus Christ. I said, who did you see? White Jesus. And she was like, yeah, but I know his feet are bronze and stuff. See, that programming right there. We ain't supposed to see white Jesus. So, the whole thing is, just confusing to me, especially when I read in this book right here, William Joseph Simmons talking about he had a spiritual vision of white robed men galloping in the sky. Heaven. White robed men galloping in the sky. So his ass gonna revive the KKK off of that vision. And then the lynching of Leo Frank. And he's seen the birth of a nation. But that spiritual vision right there, it hit it home, honey. It hit it home for him. And he revived the Ku Klux Klan. So I want to know, whose heaven is the real heaven? Can anybody answer that? Whose heaven is the real heaven? Because y'all done trapped everybody up in heaven. And he's there now. When did he say this? Oh, it was 1915 when he revived the Ku Klux Klan. 1950. He up there now. All of them. 1919, it's 2025. All of them pretty much is up there now. So y'all done trapped everybody up there in heaven with them. Y'all did. I want you to know exactly what you did. Yeah, that's what you did. Emmett Till, all of them. All I have, John Hartfield, Jeff Brown, Jesse Thornton, James Beard, everybody. John Holiday, Henry Ruffin, them Joe Ruffin sons. Yeah. Y'all done trapped everybody up there. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ain't nobody kept going to the afterlife. Just stop right there. Talking about the pearly white gates. From where I'm from and stuff, y'all, the pearly white gates had a white man standing in front of it. Yeah, but to me and stuff, I started thinking and stuff. Down here, it looked like clouds. But up there is probably cotton. And then, when I got here with this channel and stuff, because this was our first book that we read. And it was in the book. It was in the book, honey. I probably done said it before on my old channel. If I find a video where I done said it before, I'm sure gonna share it. I'm sure gonna share it. Because I was like, shit, that might be cotton up there. Y'all ain't gone up there if you want to. Because, see, I think for myself now. I don't think what white America want us to think and programming us to think. And it's true and you believe it, or you going to be in hell forever and ever in a lake of fire. Honey, the way they threw our brother John Hartfield's body on that fire, that was hell. Why that can't be hell? Why does it have to be a lake of fire when you die that the white man done describe? I know it's in the Bible. But this right here is real life that happened. And it's in a book because they wrote it and put it in a book. It's in a book because they put it in a book. Printed it in the book. I'm just saying somebody had to print the Bible too. Somebody had to print it. You know, I'm going to get it though because I got my own scriptures. And I'm going to ask sister if I see her again, do you still got it, sister? I ain't gonna invite her here and stuff, cause you know, yeah, me and her be going at it, honey. Oh yeah, so I ain't gonna invite her here. I'm just gonna ask her, can I borrow it at least? Can I get that Bible if you still got it? She probably be wanting to cuss me out, but you know she a real nice Christian lady and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna get it for this purpose, cause I got my own questions. I sure do. Can somebody answer me about slaves obey your master? I mean, this whole forgiveness thing, it just don't sit right with me. It do not. Why come the Bible ain't never said, give them therapy, give them healing? The oppressed need help. The oppressed are traumatized. Where is the sincerity from every angle? I don't even see no sincerity and stuff. So yeah, we look at through a spiritual lens here. A lens of loyalty, resilience. Who else done survived this? Name me one other people in America that's done survived this right here. But in 20 years, we literally, now what was it, 40, 50 years from 1865 to 1921 total. So that I ain't even did the math. I kind of did. It was like 40 years, 50 years. Get your math channel and stuff. So here, so you can teach us math. I ain't even got no pencil right here or a piece of paper to add it up on or subtract it and stuff. Because we got to start teaching each other. That's what I thought we were doing anyway. We ain't got no money to just build. And then you look up and be like, oh, Face the Nation, they got her, you know, a little school right there. Honey, we in this little bitty school right here, like Mary McLeod Bethune, when she started with $1.50. Yeah, after we had read her story and learned about her and stuff, and I went out and seen that little pencil. And I was like, whoa, confirmation. Yeah, you know, so yeah, we got to start teaching each other and stuff. Yes, honey, we got to unlearn everything. Yeah, I feel some type of way because I feel like shit, everybody like shit. Yeah, let's go on and fool them. Shit, let's fool them. Why? Why do that to us? Why come ain't nobody just ever said, dang, y'all need to just get the hell away from white folks? Just been straight up with us. Then I always talk, keep it 100. Ain't nobody ever kept it 100 with us. Shit. So, and we looking at this through an educational level because we are looking, listening and learning, researching, critiquing, talking about it and stuff. We got to start, you know, at least talking about it so we can start thinking. We got to start, you know, accessualizing and stuff, what's happening to us, what's going on with us. We act like shit, we the worst of the worst. We ain't even our natural enemy. But we are enemy though. Oh boy, you better not look too long. You sure better not. You better be ready to fight. If you look at sister too long, especially if you blink. Yeah, don't make eye-to-eye contact too many times. And yeah, it's because of this. We keep forcing us. We keep making us deal with this right here. That's what we doing to us. Shit, we so terrified and traumatized because of this right here. We ain't never had no peace. We ain't never even got away from white folks. Oh, my ancestors, we making movies and everything, telling about it, how we just want to get away. Just please, just let us get away. when all we got to say is get the hell away from us. We finna start doing for us now. Other than working, that's it. Other than working, we focusing on us now. And I know we done got so mingled and married with everybody and stuff. I know everybody at home with you and stuff, but the first time they say, turn that off. We not finna hear that. We not finna read that. We not finna watch that. That's when you need to know. Somebody ain't on your side. Yep, that's when you need to start questioning. Well, damn, I thought we was gonna. Don't you even care about my lineage? Don't you even care about me, my people? See, that's why we got to decide whose side we on. So when people come at us sideways and stuff, we can know whose side they ass on. Because everybody is against our ancestors. Everybody is against our ancestors. In other words, they're against us. It ain't hard for me to realize shit. I thought all our answers was wrong. I thought it was all our fault. Yeah, I know we take accountability for what we did and stuff. Cause shit, everybody know I was in the club with them grown folks stuff when I was like 14. You know, shit, we all done got the rest of the beer. You know, drinking and stuff. Done got the rest of the cigarettes. Ooh, come on, girl, look what I found in the ashtray. Yeah, I take accountability for all of that. But honey, this right here, this why hell I did it. I didn't know all these sabotages and stuff just set up. Every time I move, us, black people, every time we move, the whole move. It's right in front of us. Every time we move, the whole move, the whole move, the whole move. And we just fall in. Sometimes we keep falling in the same hole. Yeah, we got to put our focus back on us. And we got to do this quick, y'all. We ain't got years and years and years. We done wasted years and years and years. You see? So, yeah, when we get done talking here and stuff, you know, you need to go get your channel started. If you got it, your channel, put it in the chat. Because I didn't come up here. Hell, I went the long way around to even sit right here and talk to y'all. I need to be doing other stuff. I need to be doing other stuff. But seeing that, you know, everybody done fooled us, you know, and the ancestors were like, yeah, they didn't wake me up for nothing. Oh, no, honey, they did not wake me up for nothing. So then, when they said that, when they said, Face, get up. Get your ass up. I got up. So then, when the ancestors said, oh, you finna remember. I ain't finna be said. Ain't that what we say? When God talks to you and tell you to do something, obey. Ain't that one of the scriptures and stuff? Obey. Same thing with your ancestors. Same thing with the ancestors. So yeah, when they were like, you know, we got something for you to do. Yeah, I just started doing it. I went to the first thing to donate for the protest for the GoFundMe for Trayvon Martin or something. Trayvon Martin and Terrence. I didn't question and stuff. You know, I was just like, well, let me go on down here and do what I'm supposed to do and give to him and stuff. You know, I was tithing. Every Sunday at church. $50 because I was like, I ain't finna be, you know, I don't know how to compute math like that. You know, and 10% it was really easy, you know. 10% of what you got. But you know, it fluctuates. So I'm just like, yeah, I just got to do $50. That's it. Shoot, if I got a little extra money and stuff, then it's 10%. So I got to tithe a little extra money and stuff. No, I can't do nothing but $50 every Sunday. So, you know, I wasn't questioning that. Even though, you know, when I went to ask them for some help and stuff, they told me no. Y'all, I told them, you better go in the back and look at your records because I tithe every Sunday. Honey, they were mad at me. I know they were mad at me in the church and stuff, you know. But yeah, you know, I wasn't questioning them, though. But I was mad at them when they told me no, they weren't going to help me. Me? Oh, wait, honey, them folks were mad at me, too. But yeah. So when I had to go, you know, and donate, I went. I didn't question it. And that's what we got to do. When we know we got to do something for our people, we need to get off our ass and go do it. We ain't got no problem doing it for other people. We ain't got no problem doing it for Miss Karen, Miss Jessie, Brad, Barbie. Oh, yeah, I'll carpool everyone. Come on, gang. Black folk ask us for a ride to the grocery store. No, I can't do it and stuff. I can't do it. Hardly even ask you for anything. Now, I know sometimes shit we do get to asking all the time. When then we look up on Facebook and see you done got your whole hands done. Hands and feet. When you could have caught the lift to the grocery store. But see, we all messed up and stuff. I know I be like that too. I be like, shit, I ain't even coming outside today. So when you better call Instacart. Now you don't call me every day this week. And still spending money. It's cold outside. It is cold as hell outside. Yeah, but we messed up. And we got to figure out why. I know we still don't believe that's what it is. I know people still not going to believe that's what it is. Because, see, we got disciplined ignorance. We're dedicated. We are disciplined to remain ignorant. Yes, we are. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. We don't want to talk about this. No, our heart beat fast now. Because we know at some point, we're going to have to let white folks know, yeah, we remember. We still talking about this. We got to get this out. We got to get this out. The isolated incidences of, atrocious stuff that's being done and perpetrated still by white people and stuff, it ain't really readily made public. Of course, with mainstream media, it ain't anyway. We don't watch black media like we should. But white America know. White America know they have not been sincere with us. Prosperity. See, this right here was just common folks like us. They were just common folks like us. Yep. Just common folks like us and stuff. These wasn't the elite. Barbara Streisand and all them older folks and stuff. This wasn't them. No, that was not that. These right here was the people that we were living beside and, and working with and going to school with and stuff, on the other side of town, though, And we they just made us act like shit. We ain't even worth it. You better heal on your own. Shut up. Yeah, they even got James Clyburn. He be the first one. Whoa, who wants something? That's what Sister Vicky Dillon said. And that man be saying, like, who wants something for black folks? Yeah, well, somebody better tell him, yeah, we want a whole lot for black folks. Sure do. Yeah, somebody better tell him. Yeah, all of them, because all of them been doing it to us. Shit, y'all ought to be mad as hell. Shit, to find out these things. Black America, I can't believe us. And we so hard on each other and stuff, but now that we finding out, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. But we better figure it out because this is the last chance right here. This is our last opportunity to save us. Yep, y'all. We were supposed to keep on going when we got off them plantations. Shit, we were supposed to throw that apple back at their ass and that jug of cider. We were supposed to get off. We were supposed to go. And the slaves that when we were free, they said, yeah, I will, master. I'll stay and work the plantation for you. And you pay me. And the master said, okay, you can get the big slave quarter. Because see, when we got freed and stuff, everybody was lined up. And the master and the missus, and she had her own baby then on her hip. Just praying somebody. Said, well, I can't do it. I won't leave, missus. Give him here. But then nobody do. They let her have her baby. And everybody was getting ready to leave and stuff. And honey, they had some baskets of fruits like apples and potatoes and stuff like that. And I think he had a jug of apple cider. And I think in the movie I seen Jane Pittman, everybody got one apple and one jug of apple cider. Maybe it was something else too. Maybe they gave him a couple more. But everybody had to get something. So they couldn't have got that much. So, yeah, all of that right there, see, it made us feel some type of way about us. And the slaves that decided to stay, everybody should have told them, bring y'all motherfucking ass on here. How the hell you gonna say, I'll stay, we'll stay? See, we stopped being loyal to us. Right then and there. That's when we should have turned around and said, bring your ass on here. Whatever happened, it's gonna happen together. But today we gotta stop being like that. Sure do, honey. Shit, somebody should have told them. That's why we can't forgive right now. We can't even see our life without white America, without white people. Oh, my ancestors, honey, we will have a fit. You try to tell us we gotta move on from white America. We won't see them no more. Like we ain't never been without them before. When we did get our Black Wall Street, we weren't surrounded by white folks and stuff. Shit, we had our own everything. Shit, they just done scared us so much. I know. Yeah, that's what they do. Yep, and that's what they did. But I got some Dr. Francis Cress Wells, and where is it? Because I don't want nobody to think, honey, I'm lying to y'all. Oh, don't. Oh, man. Hold on. I don't like this. You just don't watch it like this. Like we are. Mm-hmm. Well, I just wanted to share that. Yeah, I just wanted to share that right there because we shouldn't be made to feel like, you know, we gotta forgive what was done. Because we don't. Now we can at least know that we can feel like how we feel. And it's okay. It's okay to not forgive the slaughter. And then the manipulation behind it. I mean, the absolute manipulation behind it, the conniving is going to hide it. Wasn't even going to mention nothing, wasn't even going to ask for no repentance or repayment, wasn't going to offer nothing for our many babies, the many bodies. I mean, you know, Black America will run out of 50 towns in the United States of America. It was over 200 towns, I believe. Maybe I misquoted that. I'm just going to say all the towns, the Black towns that were flooded, it's still whole towns that's under lakes. Yeah, I should have took notes on it and stuff, but I didn't. I didn't even take the name of the lakes and stuff, but I'll see it again because it's in my history. Yep, whole towns that were flooded, y'all. If you drain the water out of them and let them dry out, they towns. You probably can turn on the lights. Yep, so we got to wake up. We got to start paying attention to us. You know, I mean, this is our last chance. Either we care about our lineage, our future generations, or we don't. Because everything that's been set up, everything that's been presented to us, given to us, suggested to us, has been to our own detriment. Ain't none of it been beneficial for us. And I don't know, everybody must be just, willing and okay to lie and make us think that we okay, because I thought we was okay. Shit, I thought everything was fine. I thought I was just fucking up. No, I didn't know all of these projects, operations, codes, bills, agendas, events, compromises, acts. And then about the King Alfred plan, plans, experiments. I probably need to update that right there, but we do repetition, so we'll learn. Repetition is real big with me. That's how I learn. Repetition. Yeah, I have to come up with little hints and stuff so I can remember stuff. I know y'all smart. That's why y'all need to get y'all channel, because I'm going to be the first one on there. Show wisdom. Don't act like face asks a lot of questions. Yeah. Show do about us. See, that's what sparks our interest, y'all. When you start telling our babies and stuff about Sarah Rector, oh, honey, they little eyes going to light up. Look at her. She's so beautiful. Look at Sarah. Look at them little beautiful eyes. These are babies. That's why I don't understand why Uncle Tom's cabin, how you gonna fall in love with that little white girl? The little girl died and stuff. I think she had cancer or some blood disease or something like that. Uncle Tom's cabin. And they said that he was a hero, because he did return the slaves back to the master and stuff. But he fell in love with the little white girl and stuff, and he carried her in the garden when she was dying. And I'm not saying, don't have mercy and stuff for people. Everybody should have mercy for stuff, even the animals and stuff. We're supposed to have mercy, and we do. That's who we are. And it come natural to us if we let it. We are the parent of all people. We were the first. The black man is the original man. Ain't nobody denying that, but they just kind of acting like hell. It don't mean shit though. I guess it don't. Hell, when you done sabotaged it every which way but loose. Yeah, honey, it ain't even no sparkle of light coming out of nowhere on that title, that legacy that the cosmos bestowed upon the black man. Now people act like, you better not shine a light, a mirror, a candle, or nothing on that. You sure better not. You better leave that in darkness. That the cosmos manifested the black man. That's what it is. Me, I think the cosmos manifested the black woman first. I just do, because the cosmos is giving birth to the sun, giving birth to stars, storms up there too. We don't see them. Rainbows, planets. The cosmos is giving birth, and women give birth. The black woman was the first woman. If the black man was the first man, then the black woman was the first woman. Shit, we got to start thinking, using our head. So what make us think that, the cosmos didn't manifest the first black man and black woman? It might have did it together. Might have manifested them together. We don't know. We going by what somebody else said. The very first books. What they call papyruses. That could have been totally whitewashed. What I'm saying probably more true than what they said. What we believe in. Jesus up there. Jesus walking up there. Walking on water. White Jesus. That's who we see. White Jesus. I still see him sometimes. So doing, I say, honey, Simon Toko gonna kick all y'all ass. So Will's gonna kick everybody ass when he come back. What? Who is it? Oh, that's Jesus. And black folk gonna act like the white Jesus is the real Jesus. Ooh, Simon Toko gonna be mad at y'all. He said he was coming back too. Yep, he sure did. If we could believe white Jesus done did all this and stuff, why we can't believe in black Jesus? He had powers too. Yeah, he had some powers too. And then all the other people that got the same history and stuff as Jesus anyway got me confused. So see, yeah, you need to get your math channel and stuff because I need to know about the chronological order, all kind of stuff. You ain't got to just sit there and just keep listening to everybody else tell us and teach us and let us know what's going on. Everything that you know, shit, you sitting there telling me some stuff. So yeah, you need to have your own channel and stuff so we all can start learning and building ourselves. See, when we start teaching our babies and stuff now, we got to be learning so we can keep up with their brains. You see? We got to be able to keep up with their brains and stuff because they be like, oh, shoot, you ain't got no more information to give them. You ain't got no more knowledge to give them. So then they're going to fall off. They're going to start getting restless again. That's what's wrong with our babies. We done kept us in this educational system for so long. For so long, we've been in this system. Can't think for ourselves, can't vision for ourselves. We can't even hold ourselves. You better not hold each other's hands and stuff. You better grab somebody's right hand and hold their hand. Because that's what Martin said, you know. And that's how we started taking it and stuff. But yeah, we got to break all of that. Yeah, honey, we are in for it. And we better be ready. So yeah, after this right here, honey, go on and get your channel or something. Tell us somewhere you at. You know I need to be up in there learning. Sure did. Did I read this right here, the copyright disclaimer? Let me see. Because I'm soon to read it again, honey. Don't be sending me no notices. Shit, mad at me, talking about, oh, she over there telling everything. But she didn't read the copyright disclaimer shit here. Why you write it anyway? This shouldn't need no copyright disclaimer to read. What happened to us? Nigga, I want to know, you know, I ought to ask some pastor. When y'all read the Bible, do y'all got to read this too? Shoot. Now, I know this happened. This happened. So, yeah, you know, but we going to read and stuff. But I'm just saying, you know, we got to start, reaching out to our babies and stuff. I don't care where you at, honey. When you know you're going to be there for a few minutes and you see that black family, the black baby and stuff, your niece, nephew, cousin, neighbor, somebody, tell somebody about Sarah Rector. Give them a little spark of life. A little spark of, you know, resilience. A little spark of education. Some loyalty, faithfulness. They ain't going to know what it is. They just going to think it's a story. But it's going to ignite their minds. That's what we got to give to our baby stuff. You know everybody finna be mad. Oh, then watch white women. White women finna come out the real world. We got to start a curriculum for black children so we can make up for everything that we did not teach them. And they can finally gain the healing that they so deserve. It's too late for that shit now. So when that do come around, because this ain't the only channel. I'm just the last one making it here. See, I don't know if y'all the last one too. But you know, I'm the last one making it here. But yeah, so when everybody else, you know, catch on with white American stuff, and then it's going to happen. And y'all going to be like, Faith, you sure said it. You sure said it. They talking about a whole new curriculum. They like, forget all the other kids shit. Y'all teach all the other kids. Y'all teach them and we going to teach black kids. But now it's too late for that shit. It is too late for that. We teaching our own kids. Remember when I first did my first live, y'all, I went to Open Street Broadway and that bee bit me on the lip because I was eating a Polish sausage and that bee was on that Polish sausage. And I came back telling y'all who gonna read to our babies because when I got there, the Allies was passing out a flyer about Project 2025. And y'all know I already had all my information on it. So did, honey, I got them flyers, started giving them out to our people. And we were like, hell, I don't care shit. I ain't even studying that stuff here. Don't mean nothing to me. I was like, shit, what about the Department of Education? Shit, who gonna read to these kids? We gotta read our babies, shit. What we gonna do? You know, and I came home and went live and stuff, and I was like, who gonna read? I guess the ancestors say, you gonna read. Shit, y'all gotta read. We got to read. Yeah, our worst fear. We got to do it. Well, other than confronting white folks. But you know, we got to read. If you like it and stuff, and your kids like it, your babies like it, good. They can help the other ones. That's what we got to do. We ain't got to make it all, you know, boring and, oh, it's the worst thing to do and stuff. This right here is for us. Our babies ain't even ready for this right here, honey. Oh, they fuck around, turn on us. Why y'all let this shit happen and didn't tell us? Because that's how we ought to be. That's how I am. Sure will. I'm like, hell, I feel like everybody done motherfucking lied to me, grinning in my face. Shit. You know your family. You know your family was the one that did them things to John Hartfield, Jeff Brown, Jesse Thornton. They know. We just don't know. We just don't know. And this new world that's coming up, the same way our ancestors built all them contributions, inventions, beautiful creations, lifelong creations, pro-life creations. The same way they built all of that, we've been using it for all these years. Some of these inventions and stuff like in the 1800s, 1806, still being used. Yeah. Now, honey, everybody else finna be using that, especially if we end up behind them smart cities right there, y'all. I'm really wondering what the hell they got that planned for. I know white folks ain't finna be in no smart cities. It's gonna be like closing a like this little purse right here. When you get in that little smart city and it's shut down, you is in. It's still monitoring and stuff, but you in pretty much till it open back up, and then you can come out and mingle and stuff, and yeah, you got to go back in, I guess. Is that how it's supposed to work? I'm thinking though. We gotta think shit. Yeah, I know we ain't never thought like this before. I know. Well, I haven't. I ain't never thought like this before. But it's time. Yeah, it's time for it. So, our babies are the ones that's gonna create the creations and inventions that we'll need for this new world. Yeah, that we're gonna need. Black people are gonna need for this new world. The new world gonna mean something totally different for us than it means for other people. First off, everything gonna be monitoring us. Let's get that out the way first. First thing, everything gonna be monitoring us. Everything that's robotic, that's everything that's AI, gonna be monitoring us. Probably is right now. The drones, the robot dogs, when we see them outside and stuff. Oh, y'all, how is we gonna deal with this newness? But anyway, it's gonna be robot dogs out there, humanoid robots. Autonomous cars is already out there. You see, some people already got them driverless cars, and they sitting in the back like they just totally trust it. White folks do. But I'm telling you, black people, when that day come, them driverless cars and you in them, they probably waited out until black people start getting used to it. And then that's when they're going to flip the script. That's when everything, you better question everything. But it's going to be our young ones. What I think the cosmos manifested the black man, the black woman. So, the black woman and the black man had the black child, which is Godrin. The whole language is a curse to me. So it's God, Goddess, and Godrin. And our Godrin are the ones that are going to create all the inventions and contributions that we need for the new world. Because we don't know what it's going to look like. It's really unprecedented. I bet everybody. I bet John Brown up in heaven. Now he in heaven with William Joseph Simmons that created the Ku Klux Klan now, and Carolyn Bryant. Mo, all that cat hair. Get away from over here. Mo, we'll talk later. Yeah, I know we be talking too. Yeah, and he in heaven. He in heaven. They in heaven. Yeah, all the Klansmen. All of them, every last one of them. Carolyn Bryant up there, the man that killed Medgar Evers, the men that beat Fannie Lou Hamer, every last one of them. All of them are in heaven. And John Brown up there with them now, talking to them, telling them up there, trying to stop slavery up there. And a few black people up there, because that's where black people have always thought we were going, to heaven. Now, few of us very smart, like our ancestors, our elders that was teaching us, Dr. John Henry Clark and stuff, they in the afterlife. Emmett Till and them in the afterlife. Yeah, see, Emmett Till was a baby. So he automatically go to the afterlife. We the ones trapping him in heaven. Talking about Emmett Till in heaven with Carolyn Bryant and them. That's a lie. That don't even make sense. See, do any of this make sense to y'all? Because it ain't never made sense to me. Yep, I wish when I was a little girl in 3rd grade, I said, Mama, I don't want to go to that school no more. Them folks lying. But I didn't know. You know. Shay'll teach me. So we got to teach our own babies and stuff, because learning what they teaching us and stuff is leaving us mentally restless, physically restless. We don't know who we are. It ain't giving us no type of sustenance, no type of inspiration, no type of motivation. Not for us. We got some, some of us, they can, we can learn it. And we can get that bad. We can learn it. We can learn everything they got in their books. And we've dominated it. It's just too bad that, most of the time it's, the price is to forsake us. To get it, to obtain that, you got to forsake your people. We in such a bad way. Yeah. I don't know if I read this or not. I'm going to go on and read it. I think I did, didn't I? Because I do remember having my glasses off. Oh, who got the book? Let me see. I know that's right. And then I'll see how to share this screen and stuff. All right, baby, you sound like an old man, me. Oh, probably do. Yeah. It's the Europeans' curse. Now, show wheels, honey. Yeah, you're right, Lurk Squad. White Jesus is Cesare Borgia, an Italian soldier, nobleman used in a propaganda campaign. He was the son of Pope Alexander VI. Yep. When I was 7, I must have said Jesus was white because my uncle called me on the phone and had me read the description of Jesus. Hair of wool, skin of bronze. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame, You need healing from your cultist delusions. You're still shackled by the white man's religion. Everybody is. I ain't. Sure ain't, honey. Yep, this is exactly what melanated people need to hear. Yeah, my two-mate moi, that we just scared to tell us. We can admit it to us. Let's just admit it to us. Yeah, we very hesitant. We know exactly what white America would do. And we wasn't even alive. I wasn't alive in 1921 for Tulsa. I wasn't alive in 1947 during, the other massacres. We wasn't alive then, but we know. It's like an instinct, We know. And we might as well go ahead and admit it to ourselves so we can deal with it. We got to at least let ourselves, let each other know, hey, we got each other's back. We will protect us. We won't just sit there and let 4 or 5 white people beat your ass in the street now. We ain't gonna let them just string you up now, like they used to do. Because they still doing it, and they on the very cusp of it. I don't know what's gonna piss them off, since ain't nobody telling it. Even the channels I listen to, they still ain't telling it. Honey, white America is ready to snap, come out the bag again on Black America. Now, I don't know if Michelle don't go to that inauguration. That might be it. They probably sitting back saying, "Oh, she better attend that operation." I know that. But then nobody say nothing when Do Funny didn't go to Biden's inauguration. Do Funny didn't go to Do Funny because I don't know who it was didn't go to somebody's inauguration. I ain't even into the politics and stuff. Hell, I feel like everybody should have been crash this motherfucking bird. Political bird. You on the right, then you on the left. Right side, left side. Democrats, Republicans. Yeah, honey, Black America should have been crash this motherfucker. Why we still doing it, I don't know. No, yeah, don't nobody want to talk to me. I'm sure they don't. Yeah. Because we done had plenty of chances. We done had plenty of mentors, critical thinkers, our experts. Some of them right there with them. Dr. Claude Anderson, right there with them. They hear everything. It makes sense to them, but it's just a fear. Black America, until we deal with this discipline, ignorance, this self-hate, we ain't gonna come together. We is not gonna come together, honey. We're gonna have a whole bunch of tiny homes for those of us that's not trapped behind them smart cities. And that might be the new slavery. Them smart cities, y'all better start thinking, honey. Yeah, don't come trying to tell me, oh, we going here. No, you going by yourself. And I just want you to know, because we know everybody ain't going. That's probably what it's talking about. What does this mean? 144,000 and everybody ain't going and stuff. Hell, 144,000 might be all that's left out here. And the rest of y'all ass is going to be in all them smart cities. I don't believe the 144,000 going to be behind the smart cities. I don't know. It just none of it makes sense to me. Hell, I don't know who all going to be where. But I know Black America, we all need to be together and we need to be free. We need to seek our liberation together. Yeah, it's too big for me to even think. What are these people thinking about? I'm not used to thinking like that. I'm not manipulative. I'm not conniving. I don't know what this means. And then when I think about what the shape the world is in, where life itself is going, because to me, I feel like mankind and humanity is at stake. Hell, all our asses finna die. Quit having babies. Keep on. Same sex. Now they got robots, sleeping with robots. Oh, my ancestors. Don't we understand? You got to have babies to have life. Is the only one finna be giving birth to animals? Is the animals finna be the only one on planet Earth giving babies? Oh, then that robot Sophia said that she want to have babies. They want to have a family. The robot. They asked the robot what was her plans for the future. They making them where they actually thinking. Robots are actually thinking. They can hold a lightly intelligent conversation with you. Yeah. So I don't know if she just know and programmed to know about birth. That human give birth. But she was like, yes, I hope that one day that I will be able to have my own family. A robot. Sophia, that's her name. Look it up. Humanoid robot. Her name's Sophia. So, this whole new world that's being orchestrated right here. Hell, I'm just like, what this mean for Black America? And why the hell everybody ain't helped us get no money? They ain't helped us get nothing so that we can start building and prepare for this new world order. So I'm feeling like it's everybody in on it together to sacrifice us. It don't really make sense to me. So yeah, I'm the last one here at the fight, I guess, But Vernon John said, if you see a good fight, get in it. And this is it. This is it right here. The fight for Black people. Yeah, the fight for Black people, not the fight for feminine and all that stuff. They having a march. The white women supposed to be having a march. Yeah, and that might set them off. And Black women said, we ain't going to the march. We done marching. Some of the Black women said for the next 4 years, Joe did say we is not coming to the marches. Handle that yourself, white women. But as soon as they start crying, honey, whoa. Soon as white America start crying, y'all better look out. Yes, as soon as white America start crying because Black women is not finna be at the marches no more. Black women is not finna be giving them attention no more and catering to them anymore. And the white women start crying and stuff. That might be what set the white men off, because it was always an assault on the white woman that caused the violence. There's always some assault on some white woman, some lie about an assault on a white woman. But I just don't know where it's gonna come from. We have no idea. It's like we're gonna be caught off guard. We're gonna be caught off guard again, like everything else. Like everything else. Then we're gonna be blaming each other, for it happening. Yeah, I got me some positive energy. Sweet tangerine. I seen this at the food shelf, honey, and I was looking at it too. Because, you got to wait in line and stuff. And I was like, yeah, get everything else, but you leave that tea right there. I was like, I don't care if that's the only thing I leave up out of here with. Because, everything else was like, the contaminated stuff. The fruits and the vegetables and stuff didn't have the 9 on it, which is organic. Everything started with the 4, which is pesticides and chemicals. And I was like, shit, I ain't even going to eat it. There ain't no need taking it home. I've ended up bringing it home, but then the bananas got like 4011. That 4 is for chemicals and pesticides. And I be like, shit, I don't even want to eat it. I just fast. So, when I seen that tea, I was like, yep. Yeah, I want that tea. You can drink tea and, be all right and stuff. And then we need to fast anyway. Yeah, we need to fast anyway because, honey, we got to change our whole lifestyle of eating. Yep, we got to change our whole lifestyle of living. Everything. Neely Fuller said every aspect in life is controlled by racism, white supremacy. And on that picture right there, I printed it off. Said everything you think you know about racism, white supremacy, it'll only confuse you, drive you crazy. Have you will be feeling alike. We will be feeling the same way. Yeah. But see, we survived it. Our people survived it. We ain't got to be bitter and, seeking vengeance and stuff. Nah, what? For what? It's too late for all that. The cosmos done stepped in now. Yeah, this is a spiritual war now. This is spiritual now. Physically, we can't do nothing. Mentally, we can't do nothing. We done passed that point. Yep. Anything we do is finna be turned against us. We need to just let nature take its course as far as everything that's done happened. Vengeance belongs to the ancestors in here. Vengeance belongs to the ancestors. If anybody coming back, John Hartfield coming back. Jeff Thornton coming back. Oh, yeah, Mary Turner coming back. Joe Wills, honey, we better start thinking. Yeah, we can't keep following the same old lie, the same old narrative, the same old fear. All these massacres. Then they going to tell us they race riots. Like black folk were fighting them and they were fighting black folks. Honey, white folk were raining down on black folk. Black folk were running for their life. Running for their life. Yep, black mothers and stuff couldn't do nothing. I got to just get the baby. Get the baby. Got to leave everything else. It's been a whole charade. A whole game to everybody. Everybody been knowing it. That's why I'm pissed off at everybody else too. Don't come talking to me about friends. Face, you want to go to this, get guy? I ain't going nowhere with y'all. Honey, you won't see me nowhere if we ain't passing each other in the grocery store or we don't work together. But as far as hanging with y'all asses, hell no, because I don't know when y'all gonna snap. For the love of black people, some of y'all white friends and stuff ought to be telling you. Well, tell your people that if Michelle don't go, then yeah, white people plan to snap. They're gonna come out the bag on y'all. Somebody tell Black America something. You mean to tell me we're gonna keep discussing it and not let us know that, yeah, exactly what when the shit hit the fan is. Exactly what is it when the shit hit the fan? What we talking about when shit hit the fan? Don't get it twisted. Everybody finna get some of this oppression. Yeah. Everybody finna get some of this. And you know what I think? If anybody in them flying vehicles, honey, it need to be the damn emergency personnel. Ain't nobody else need to be in no Tesla, no flying helicopter, or flying car, or nothing. The emergency personnel need to be the only one that bypass traffic so they can go get who they getting and take them back to the hospital. Laying on top of the building and take them on in the hospital for surgery, whatever wrong with them. Why they coming up with this whole infrastructure? Like the Fifth Element, the movie Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, and they had the whole futuristic thing going on and stuff. And the lady with the red hair, they said she was the most, divine being and stuff, and to save humanity. Honey, that's the black woman. Yep, the black woman and the black man. Yep. Everything is. Y'all better wake up. Everything is about black people. I don't know. But Guess I better say it all while I can, before they shut the internet off. Shit, you know, whoa, cut that motherfucker off, all of it. Cause you see, TikTok is getting banned, which hell, I don't know how to navigate it anyway. But yeah, TikTok is getting banned and stuff. But yeah, cause truth is being revealed. I guess people telling too much. But you start fasting. And you're gonna start just getting, the download. This just gonna start, start calling on our ancestors. And you're gonna start just getting, the wisdom, the visions. I know y'all that know these things, I already know, but a lot of us don't. I didn't either. I'm just different. I'm just different than other people. I always, felt my ancestors. And so maybe that's why it resonate with me. And some of us are people, it don't resonate with us. I tried to read the Bible when I was a little girl too. If I had succeeded with the Bible and stuff, I'd be on here reading Helen Keller to y'all. Yeah, we be crying about Helen Keller. It wouldn't even faze us that the woman, her teacher, went and took the little slave boy from his parents. Well, he was in the big house. Sometimes he was in the big house, but he had to entertain Helen and stuff, And she went and got the little boy and made him come to the cabin with her and Helen, so Helen would have something familiar. When she taught her how to, the etiquette, how to, calm down and eat and, just enjoy life and stuff. Because Helen was a mess. She couldn't hear and couldn't see. She needed a way to communicate. Helen Keller. I'd had us here reading Helen Keller. Yeah. We wouldn't have had no empathy for the black people and stuff. The black baby. He was like 5 years old. But see, the ancestors said, no. Just like y'all always say, God is always right on time. He might be slowing, but he always right on time. Something like that. Black people be saying and stuff. And the ancestors sitting here telling us, well, when are y'all going to remember us? When are y'all going to remember us? It's time now. Just add it to your prayers and stuff. When you talking to Jesus, Black Jesus, and you talking to God, whatever his name is, yeah, respectfully, add the ancestors in there. And honey, you watch the abundance and the prosperity just rain down on you. Because this is what they've been waiting on, see. They've been waiting on us. When did y'all hear? John Brown been waiting on us. John Brown raising hell in heaven right now with his people. So, John, we'll get you again. Yeah. John telling all our asses, keep going. Keep going. Go to the afterlife. Don't stop here. Black people, keep going. Go to the afterlife. Everybody in the afterlife. Yeah, y'all, it's going down. You better call on your ancestors. Y'all better quit playing. This is spiritual here. This ain't no physical, religious thing. This is spiritual now. We too traumatized to do anything, but we can believe. We can believe. We better believe, honey. And when they use that one project they got out, I told you they got so many agendas, projects, operations. Y'all, it's crazy. When y'all see that hologram or whatever it's called, and it look like Jesus, the white Jesus, honey, y'all better tell that motherfucker, who the hell is you? You better start asking some questions. Whatever they put up there. Because, honey, I'm be looking for Black Jesus. I'll be looking for Black Jesus because we need to talk. We need to, if I see an alien, reptile, whatever, I got some questions to ask. How long you been here? Shit, did you know anything about this right here? Yeah, I got some questions to ask. Yeah, get rid of all the motherfucking fear. Because whatever gonna happen, Black America. Honey, we better know who we are. Yes, our ancestors didn't survive all of that right there. They didn't survive that Satan. For us to be scared and fearful and worried. Oh, I'm so weird and stuff. You know what? You can't have faith and worry at the same damn time. Damn time. Damn is like a blockage. A blockage. You got to let go of one of them so you can free that blockage. And then the flow can come through. I choose faith. Yeah, I got faith in my ancestors. And I know they coming back. Anybody come back for Black people. it's gonna be my ancestors. Our ancestors coming back for us. Now, for white people, John Brown might come back for them. I don't know who coming back for their ass. Sure don't, but they probably don't want to be around when when Medgar and them get back. Emmett Till, Mary Turner, yeah, the ones we done read. John Hartfield, Jeff Brown, Leo Frank, all of them. Yeah, the women too. Where they listed all them women that they lynched and stuff. When all of them come back, they coming. That's who coming back for us. Shit, John coming back for white folks and stuff. They better be ready for that. They better repent and repay. But it's out of our hands, All we can do is, just get our baby. Start teaching us. That's the only thing we got to do. We got to start teaching us. Quit being so ready to be ignorant. Just ready to be dumb. Dumbing ourselves down. That's what Dr. John Henry Clark said. Are we dumbing ourselves down for white folks? And I believe we hard on ourselves like that because we know if we don't do it, white folks will do it. As long as they see us hard on each other and riding each other and killing each other, just riding down on each other, they all right. They okay with that. But then they act like we don't know why they're doing it to themselves and stuff. And after another couple of decades, they probably gonna be like, yeah, we need to put them back in slavery again. They cannot take care of themselves. But then the other people that I read about that got out of enslavement, they went through 150, 200 years of chaos too, before they actually got right mentally, But them people were left alone to grow, to heal, to build and evolve. Black America, we ain't never been left alone to build, heal, to grow, to nurture us. Our trauma is still ongoing, like Dr. Joy DeGrasse said. Our trauma is still ongoing. It ain't never happened to nobody else. Everybody done went through something. It ended. And in some way or another, they received some help, some therapy. But for some reason, Black America ain't never received no therapy, a kind word, I'm sorry. We want to free all of y'all. White America ain't never even said or thought about, hey, for all the love and procreating with us and stuff, for all the love. Why don't we all give our vote to Black America so they can get their reparations? Why ain't white America ever said, hey, now that we know better, why we ain't teaching Black kids that's still in the school system? And yeah, I'm talking about white America. Yeah, white folks. We see them every day. We practically live with them. Like we can't live without them. But why they ain't never reached out for us? Huh? And hell, then it's they sons that's doing all this killing and racism and stuff. It's still white folks' sons. It's still your son, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your granddaddy, your daddy, your neighbor, your classmate, your best friend. Who teaching these white men this? Who teaching these white men to be like this? Yeah, I mean, one of our brothers, he was at a VFW spot. Start looking at Taylor House Publishing. And he was at a VFW. All white folks there. He was the only black there. Stop putting ourselves in these situations with these people. I'm not blaming him either. But we got to stop going around these people like they love us. Trump done incited something that was hidden, that they kept hidden underground. We ain't going to show this viciousness no more. But honey, Trump done incited that. They insightful now. They ready. So what happened? He was talking to some random white guy from what I could tell, because they acted like the guy that hurt him wasn't a regular. You see what I'm saying? And the guy, they were talking at the bar. And the guy just started stabbing the counter and then just started attacking him. Our brother beat him so bad they had to put him in a medical coma. He beat him so bad he had to stop and take a break. And then go back to beating him. Beat him for a full 30 minutes, I think. And one of the regulars at the VFW got up and helped him some. We got to stop putting ourselves around these people like they truly, really love us. I think his daddy was a veteran. And his dad used to go to the bar or something like that. I'll try to find it and watch it again and update y'all. But we got to stop putting ourselves in these situations and stuff, honey. It is not that much motherfucking acceptance in the world, especially from white folks. Now, if we want to sit around somebody and stuff here, take our asses where our people at and sit there and have you a drink. Be friends with who you gonna be friends with and love with who you gonna love. But know who friends they friends with. At least acknowledge to yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna be up in here with my homie Tommy. Yeah, me and Tommy finna go out. Honey, all them damn people up in there. Hell, they don't like you or Tommy. Ain't nobody coming to our rescue but us. We need to find out why we against us, why we won't protect us, why we won't teach us, why we won't hug and accept us. Well, they just done got to us where we just totally give up. I ain't having no more babies no more. Black America just gonna stop having babies. And then watch everybody else get right. Ain't gonna be no more transgender, ain't gonna be no more same sex, queer, bisexual, nothing. Because they done did what they set out to do. Fool Black America again. Yeah, hey, somebody had to, that's how I feel about it now. I know it's always been around. But to turn it around and flip it, use it as a whole weapon against black people. See, that's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Our whole lineage is at stake, y'all. Our whole future generations is at stake. Get us down to a couple 100,000, and you pretty much, got us again. Yeah. And, by any means necessary. It don't matter who caught in the middle. Because they're getting it too. Because, see, when Martin Luther King said injustice against one is injustice against all, he wasn't talking about us. He was talking to white America. And see, that's what we get for beating around the bush. Go on and say what the hell you trying to say. What he should have said with white America. Y'all letting this carry on and y'all keeping this up. Now, what's been happening is finna turn around and happen to you. What's been happening to Black America is finna happen to you. Because white America thought he was talking to us. Telling us injustice against one is injustice against all. Like we're going to come out and just be so hard on them. Payback. And, that whole thing. He was talking to them. And why he playing with his sirens? Ain't it people that need to be helped out there? See, that's why they need to put their ass in the air. Put their ass in the air and let them go where they're trying to go and help whoever need help. See, everything is against Black America. We got to start thinking. What the hell are we in? What have we got ourselves in? I'll be mad about it. I'll be pissed off about it. I'll be thinking. Because it ain't right. I know I'm trying not to blame us too, because I know we traumatized. The more I read, I know we traumatized. And let's read. Racial violence in the United States. And this right here is edited by Alan D. Grimshaw. At first, we did read Red Summer. And, at noontime, we come out with our ancestors, with our inventors and, our creators and stuff, our saviors. Saved our lives and stuff, our ancestors literally saved us, physically saved us. Yep. From slavery. They saved us from physical slavery. We still mentally enslaved. you know, but they saved us from physical slavery. If it wasn't for them, we would still be in chains, y'all. Them people never wanted to let us go and can't wait to get us back. You know, you let people keep fooling us and stuff, honey. I'm not. I'm finna tell Black America exactly what I think is going on. Sure is. I'm not finna lie to us, because, yeah, my babies. I got grandbabies and great-grandbabies. I got nieces and nephews and cousins. You know, I got friends and stuff, and they got babies and stuff, you know, and TT face, you know. Yeah, so I don't want to do that to our babies, our kids, our future generations. I don't want to be a hypocrite like that and make them think, oh, everything is all right, you know, you can just be a rapper. Or some old flimsy, superficial shit like that. Don't do my babies like that here, because if that's the case, I should have never even had no kids. Sure shouldn't have, honey. I should have never even gave birth to nothing if we gonna do like that. But since I did, yeah, I'm gonna tell it. I want mine to live, honey. And if it's got to be between white people and black people, because that's who we talking about. That's who hurt us. That's who hurt us. This right here who turned us against us. And this who we talking about right here. And other people and stuff, all I got to say to them is, what did your people do to my people? Since you got something to say. Since you got something to say, what did your people do to my people? Well, have they made up for it? Have they repented and repaid? Hell, they can pay reparations too. Everybody can cut the check. Shit, you know, I'm not here for all of that. I ain't finna sugarcoat nothing for none of y'all. Sure ain't. Yeah, you decide whose side you on. You ain't even got to be around me. You ain't got to listen to me or nothing. You better keep all your eyes on Karen them. That's where you gonna be at, honey. You better be looking at everything. When you sneeze, you better sneeze with your eyes open. You better not trust them folks, honey. You ain't got to tell me. Well, who was it? Maya Angelou said, when somebody show you who they are, you better believe them. And white America been showing us over and over and over and over again. The white and the black man trying to be the best white man he could be. Trying to be the best white man he could be. And the black woman trying to be the best white woman she could be. All this fake hair on the side. I walked right past my sister once. Hair done changed again. Nails, everything. Yeah, and that ain't nobody I know. But I noticed the stand, though. I'm like, I stand like my sister. But hell, I didn't notice nothing else. And I kept right on going. So did your face. You didn't see me standing here. I said, hell, I didn't even know it was you. Yeah, you done covered up your whole face and stuff. Shit, I don't be going around looking for y'all. Hell, I don't even know if that's you. You always know who I am. Shit, I be telling you all the time. You see me, you say something to me. Shit, y'all just doing too much. Shit. See, that's that white mindset. Thinking like white folks. Yeah, we got to change everything. Yep, I know y'all ain't going to want to. I know you ain't going to want to, honey. But just talk to your ancestors and ask them for the strength. Add them to it. You're already praying to God anyway. Oh, your higher power. You're already praying to it anyway. Just add the ancestors. You ain't got to say John Hartfield and stuff. Call whoever you know. Yeah, call the archangels. Your spiritual team. Call Malcolm. Khalid Muhammad, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton. Call anybody. Rosa Parks. Yeah, you can call anybody. You can just say the ancestors. And yeah, they've been waiting. We've been calling on a cat. Honey, we need a dog. Black America need a dog. Canis Major, ain't that one of the constellations? Canis Major. It makes sense to me. You ain't finna tell me that Jesus parted no river, you know. Why Jesus parted the river and when he got through it and stuff, and the people got through it, I guess, you know, then the river closed up and the people that were chasing them, it flooded and everybody drowned to death. So yeah, you know, if that happened, then what I say happened too. What is spiritual? It's spiritual. That's religious. This right here is spiritual. And if I believe that happened, then I believe this happened too. Yep, that's how it is with me. Yep, sure will. Because I think for myself, Yeah, if I'm supposed to think any different, I'm pretty sure one of my ancestors will let me know. Your face, you kind of thinking a little wrong there. So I must be on the right track about something. It could be that they ain't in heaven with Carol and Brian now. It could be everything. But at least it's my own thoughts. It ain't nobody else's thoughts. So let's read. This right here is we starting with Detroit. You know, the other day we was reading about Newark. Yeah, this is really heavy right here. All of it is. I think Red Summer was it's smaller, but I think it was really more graphic than this right here is. This is often graphic too, but this right here deals with a lot of inner machinations, you know, the inner workings and stuff of everything that white people have done and stuff. It's so much. I didn't know none of this stuff right here. I'm like, wow. All I can think of is savage and ravenousness. Then I think them the strongest words that I even got in my vocabulary. That's all I could think of to even, you know, comprehend the pages in these books. And then they got near to call the black man savage. Yeah, people be wearing that on their clothes and stuff, savage. So who they talking about? White people or black people? Savage. Oh, it's just a brand. Oh, right. All right, well, let's read. Detroit. On Saturday evening, July the 22nd, the Detroit Police Department raided 5 blind pigs. The blind pigs had had their origin in Prohibition days and survived as private social clubs. Often they were after-hours drinking and gambling spots. The 5th blind pig on the raid list, the United Community and Civic League, League, at the corner of 12th Street and Claremont, had been raided twice before. Once, 10 persons had been picked up. Another time, 28. A Detroit Vice Squad officer had tried but failed to get in shortly after 10 o'clock on Saturday night. He succeeded on his second attempt at 3:45 Sunday morning. All that time? Oh, wait, honey. Well, let me see what's going on. Yeah. Sandra Jean, we've been monitored for decades. Nothing new. Sure ain't. Honey, they watching us every which way but loose. Yeah. So, you know, ain't no need in hiding. Yeah. Maybe that's why we refuse to come together, because we know they watching and stuff. But damn. If that's the case, we'll never start. You know, shit. Hell, they watching us. Let's watch them then. Don't that make sense? You studying us. Let's study y'all. You know? Shit. You teach yours to not resonate, have empathy, and you know, compassion for ours. Let's teach ours to stay the hell away. Makes sense to me. You know? I mean, we know they doing it. Obviously. I just didn't know. And I wish I had known it was like this. So, well, the tactical mobile unit, the police department's crowd control squad, had been dismissed at 3 a.m. Since Sunday morning traditionally is the least troublesome time. Since Sunday morning traditionally is the least troublesome time for police in Detroit and all over the country, only 193 officers were patrolling the streets. Because, you know, Sunday, people getting ready for church and, you know, drunk as hell and they fell asleep, you know. And so all over the country and stuff, only 193 officers were patrolling the streets. Of these, 44 were in the 10th precinct where the blind pig was located. Police expected to find 24 patrons in the blind pig. That night, however, it was the scene of a party for several servicemen, 2 of whom were back from Vietnam. Instead of 24 patrons, police found 82. Some voiced resentment at the police intrusion. An hour went by before all 82 could be transported from the scene. The weather was humid and warm. The temperature that day was to rise to 86 degrees. And despite the late hour, many people were still on the street. In short order, a crowd of about 200 people gathered. In November of 1965, George Edwards, judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit and commissioner of the Detroit Police Department from 1961 to 1963, had written in the Michigan Law Review Edwards, 1965. He said this. It is clear that in 1965, no one would make excuses for any city's inability to foresee the possibility of racial trouble. Although local police forces generally regard themselves as public servants with the responsibility of maintaining law and order, they tend to minimize this attitude when they are patrolling areas that are heavily populated with Negro citizens. There, they tend to view each person on the streets as a potential criminal or enemy, and all too often that attitude is reciprocated. Indeed, hostility between the Negro communities in our large cities and the police departments is the major problem in law enforcement in this decade. It has been a major cause of all recent race riots. Yep, that's what he said. George Edwards in 1965. Here it is, 2025. Yep, and we still ain't even patrolling our own communities. No, that's what, by this time right here, we supposed to be the ones out here patrolling our own communities. Yep, we supposed to been out here patrolling our own communities. We supposed to been had at least one community center or police center. Not a police department, a police center or civic center or something like that. Police and patrol center for us that we run, we operate it, we fund it, take care of it, we maintain it, so that we will be able to go out here in our communities. And each district probably need one. I don't know. I'm just getting here. Hell, I the one dropped out of school. Y'all ass supposed to already have this built for us. Something. But now, see, you always let white folks get in the way and stop everything. You always let white folks step in and say, oh, we'll do it. Come with us. And then they take your ass the other way. See, that's what. At the time of Detroit's 1943 race riot, Judge Edwards told commission investigators that there was open warfare between the Detroit Negroes and the Detroit Police Department. As late as 1961, he had thought that Detroit was the leading candidate in the United States for a race riot. There was a long history of conflict between the police department and citizens. During the labor battles of the 1930s, union members had come to view the Detroit Police Department as a strike-breaking force. The 1943 riot, in which 34 persons died, was the bloodiest in the United States in a span of 2 decades. The 1943 race riot in Detroit. Yeah, we can't write in this book because it ain't ours. Go to the library and get your science books and your math books and stuff. You get your channel up and stuff and add it, to the ones that you got to your library already. Then you'll have some updated ones. So that way, people that's smarter than me, you will be able to, reach and grab that book to teach them where they at. Because I'm going to have to start down at the bottom. But I'm willing to do it, though. So go on and get yourself together and let me know. I do work, though. I still am in the work scene and stuff. We got to become financially sufficient, too. We got to find personal freedom so we can talk about us and heal us. We ain't got to be weird and stressed and fretting over, oh, my ancestors, what is Barbie going to say? Oh, what if Karen finds out and tell everybody and Karen just, what? So what? We got to do this right here. So this right here be our personal freedom. That's what it is for me. Your personal freedom might be something else. It might just be going to every, plantation site and taking some babies with you, some kids with you, some black people with you so they can learn and stuff. Whatever your personal freedom looks like. And, and financial freedom. So we can afford to sit, learn, create, and build for us. I'm happy to buy all your stuff. Yes, honey, I don't wear nobody else stuff. Yeah, let me know where your shirts and your sweaters and stuff at. Your pants and your shoes and stuff, you know. Yeah, we got to do them things for you. You got your candle business and stuff. We love candles, you know. Just how everybody else got their businesses and stuff for each other and stuff. Let us know so we can start buying our own stuff. You know, we need mugs and stuff. We need stuff. So whatever you got, let us know. If you got a daycare, you got, you know, your insurance company, whatever it is, you can put it in the chat right here, honey, because we need everything. And that's how we're going to, you know, fund each other. We're going to have some cash coming in from whatever we're doing, and we're getting it from each other. I ain't got to go. I don't even like Walmart. I don't go Walmart buying no candles or nothing. If I get some candles or something, I go to one of the little herb shops and stuff, and spices, incense and stuff like that. That's where I go and get my candles and stuff, my incense and stuff. I don't even like Walmart. I might run up in there and give me some work shoes and run right back. Run right on up out of there. Yeah, if I could, I'd just throw the money at them and keep right on going. Yeah, it's extra. Yeah, just take $35. Cover the tax and everything. But yeah, if you sell it, you got incense and candles and bubble baths and body oils and stuff, then yeah, we'll buy it from you. That's how we got to do. It ain't even got to be that difficult. And you know, we'll just get on the road to, you know, financial freedom and other things that we'll be doing too, of course. You know, I'm just tossing that out there and stuff. But yeah, just to give us an idea that, yeah, we can do these things together. We ain't got to just sit there and stay, you know, where we at. We can, you know, start making preparations and stuff. Shit, I don't want to just be here with these folks all the time, just working 40, 50 years, and then that's it. No, we're supposed to have time to create, to build, to teach, to nurture, to heal us. Yeah, so let's read. Judge Edwards and his successor, Commissioner Ray Girardin, Girardin, Ray Girardin, attempted to reconstruct the image of the department. A citizens' complaint bureau was set up to facilitate the filing of complaints by citizens against the officers. In practice, however, this bureau appeared to work little better than less enlightened and more cumbersome procedures in other cities. Oh, they didn't want to do it, I guess. So let's see. In practice, however, this bureau appeared to work little better than less enlightened and more cumbersome procedures in other cities. On 12th Street, with its high incidence of vice and crime, the issue of police brutality was a recurrent theme. A month earlier, the killing of a prostitute had been determined by police investigators to be the work of a pimp. According to rumors in the community, the crime had been committed by a vice squad officer. At about the same time, the killing of Danny Thomas, a 27-year-old Negro Army veteran, by a gang of white youths had inflamed the community. The city's major newspapers played down the story in hope that the murder would not become a cause for increased tensions. Always playing it down. But remember, when there were white women being assaulted or something, white woman assaulted, lynching in 5 days, extra, extra, they had to go all out. The incident backfired. A banner story in the Michigan Chronicle, the city's Negro newspaper, began. As James Meredith marched again Sunday to prove a Negro could walk in Mississippi without fear, a young woman who saw her husband killed by a white gang shouting, "Niggers keep out of Rouge Park," lost her baby. That's Rouge. That's how the newspaper started. As James Meredith marched again Sunday to prove a Negro could walk in Mississippi without fear, a young woman who saw her husband killed by a white gang shouting, "Niggers keep out of Rouge Park," lost her baby. Relatives were upset that the full story of the murder was not being told, apparently in an effort to prevent the incident from sparking a riot. Some Negroes believed that the daily newspaper's treatments of the story was further evidence of the double standard, playing up crimes by Negroes, playing down crimes against Negroes. So when it was the Negro that did it, when it was the black person that did the crime, they played it up. When it was a white person that did the crime against the black person, they act, it wasn't really all that bad. It wasn't nothing. Although police arrested one suspect for murder, Negroes questioned why the entire gang was not held. What, they asked, would have been the result if a white man had been killed by a gang of Negroes? And we know all of them would have been arrested, beaten, if not hung. What if Negroes had made the kind of advances toward a white woman that the white men were rumored to have made towards Mrs. Robinson, Mrs. Thomas? The Thomas family lived only 4 or 5 blocks from the raided blind pig. A few minutes after 5 a.m., just after the last of those arrested had been hauled away, an empty bottle smashed into the rear window of a police car. A litter basket was thrown through the window of a store. Rumors circulated of excess force used by the police during the raid. A youth, whom the police nicknamed Mr. Greensleeves, because of the color of his suit, was shouting, "We're going to have a riot," and exhorting the crowd to vandalism. At 5:20 a.m., Commissioner Jeriden was notified. He immediately called Mayor Jerome Cavanagh, Cavanagh. 17 officers from other areas were ordered into the 10th precinct. By 6 a.m., police strength had grown to 369 men. Of these, however, only 43 were committed to the immediate riot area. Called 369 men, and only 43 was actually there in the riot area. By that time, the number of persons on 12th Street was growing into the thousands, and widespread window smashing and looting had begun. On either side of 12th Street were neat, middle-class districts. Along 12th Street itself, however, crowded apartment houses created a density of more than 21,000 persons per square mile, almost double the city average. The movement of people in the slums of Black Bottom had been cleared for urban renewal had changed 12th Street from an integrated community into an almost totally black community, in which only a number of merchants remained white, just here and there. Only 18% of the residents were homeowners. Everybody else rented. 25% of the housing was considered so substandard as to require clearance. Another 19% had major deficiencies. The lights didn't work. The doors were unstable. The windows were, ill-equipped. The ventilating probably wasn't worth nothing. The crime rate was almost double that of the city as a whole. A Detroit police officer told commission investigators that prostitution was so widespread that officers made arrests only when soliciting became blatant. The proportion of broken families was more than twice that in the rest of the city. By 7:50 a.m., when a 17-man police commando unit attempted to make the first sweep, an estimated 3,000 people were on 12th Street. 3,000 were on 12th Street. They offered no resistance. As the sweep moved down the street, they gave way to one side and then flowed back into it. And then flowed back behind it. A shoe store manager said he waited vainly for police for 2 hours as the store was being looted in his face. At 8:25 a.m., someone in the crowd yelled, "The cops are coming, the cops are coming." The first flames of the riot billowed from the store. Firemen who responded were not harassed. The flames were extinguished, though. By mid-morning, 1,122 men approximately a fourth of the police department had reported for duty. Of these 1,122 men, 540 of them was in or near the 6-block riot area. 108 officers were attempting to establish a cordon, C-O-R-D-O-N. There was, however, no interference with looters, and police were refraining from the use of force. The police were refraining from the use of force. Commissioner Jeriden said, if we had started shooting in there, not one of our policemen would have come out alive. I am convinced it would have turned into a race riot in the conventional sense of the matter. According to witnesses, police at some roadblocks made little effort to stop people from going in and out of the area. Bantering took place between police officers and the populace, some still in pajamas. To some observers, there seemed at this point to be an atmosphere of apathy, A-P-A-T-H-Y, an atmosphere of apathy. On the one hand, the police failed to interfere with the looting. On the other hand, a number of older, more stable residents who had seen the street deteriorate from a prosperous commercial thoroughfare to one riddled by vice, they remained aloof. Because officials feared that the 12th Street disturbance might be a diversion, many officers were sent to guard key installations in other sections of the city. Belle Isle, B-E-L-L-E-I-S-L-E, Belle Isles, a recreation area in the Detroit River that had been the scene of the 1943 riot, it was sealed off. Sealed off. In an effort to avoid attracting people to the scene, some broadcasters cooperated by not reporting the riot, and an effort was made to downplay the extent of the disorder. The facade of business as usual necessitated the detailing of numerous police officers to protect the 50,000 spectators that were expected at that afternoon's New York Yankees Detroit Tigers baseball game. Ooh-wee, 50,000 spectators at the game. Early in the morning, a task force of community workers went into the area to dispel rumors and act as counter-terror rioters, counter-rioters, counter rioters. Such a task force had been singularly successful at the time of the incident in the Meshival district in the summer of 1966. Now that's the Kersheval, Kercheval, Kersheval district in the summer of 1966, when scores of people had gathered at the site of an arrest, like hundreds of them, probably thousands. Kersheval, however, was a more stable population, fewer stores, less population density, and the city's most effective police community relations program. The 12th Street area, on the other hand, had been determined in a 1966 survey conducted by Dr. Ernest Hartberg of the Psychology Department of the University of Michigan to be a community of high stress and tension. Already set up. An overwhelming majority of the residents indicated dissatisfaction with their environment. Of the interview, 93% said they wanted to move out of the neighborhood. 73% felt that the streets were not safe. 91% believed that a person was likely to be robbed or beaten at night. 58% knew of a fight within the last 12 months in which a weapon had been employed. 32% stated that they themselves owned the weapon. 57% were worried about fires. A significant proportion believed municipal services to be inferior. 36% were dissatisfied with the school. 43% with the city's contribution to the neighborhood. 77% with the recreational facilities. 78% believed police did not respond promptly when they were summoned for help. U.S. Representative John Conyers, Conyers, John Conyers Jr., a Negro, was notified about the disturbance of his home a few blocks from 12th Street at 8:30 a.m. Together with other community leaders, including Hubert G. Locke, a Negro and assistant to the Commissioner of Police, he began to drive around the area. In the side streets, he asked people to stay in their homes. On 12th Street, he asked them to disperse. It was, by his own account, a futile task. Numerous eyewitnesses interviewed by commission investigators tell of the carefree mood with which people ran in and out of stores, looting and laughing, joking with the police officers. Stores with Soul Brother signs. You know, black people had Soul Brothers in the windows and stuff. You know, stores with Soul Brother signs appeared no more immune than others. Looters paid no attention to residents who shouted at them and called their actions senseless. An epidemic of excitement had swept over the persons on the street. Congressman Conyers noticed a woman with a baby in her arms. She was raging, cursing Whitey for no apparent reason. Shortly before noon, Congressman Conyers climbed atop a car in the middle of 12th Street to address the people. As he began to speak, he was confronted by a man in his 50s, whom he had once, as a lawyer, represented the man in court. Yeah, he had represented the man in court. The man had been active in civil rights. He believed himself to have been persecuted as a result, and it was Conyers' opinion that he may have been wrongfully jailed. Extremely bitter, the man was inciting the crowd and challenging Conyers. Why are you defending the cops and the establishment? You're just as bad as they are. A police officer in the riot area told commission investigators that neither he nor his fellow officers were instructed as to what they were supposed to be doing. Witnesses tell of officers standing behind sawhorses as an area was being looted, and still just standing there much later when the mob had moved somewhere else. A squad from the commando unit wearing helmets with face-covering visors and carrying bayonet-tipped carbines, carbines, blockaded a street several blocks from the scene of the riot. Their appearance drew residents into the street. Some began to harangue, 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 I guess. Some began to harangue them and to question why they were in an area where there was no trouble. Representative Conyers convinced the police department to remove the commandos. By that time, a rumor was threading through the crowd that a man had been bayoneted by the police. Influenced by such stories, the crowd became belligerent. At approximately 1 p.m., stonings accelerated. Numerous officers reported injuries from rocks, bottles, and other objects thrown at them. Smoke billowed upward from 4 fires. The first since the one at the shoe store early in the morning. When firemen answered the alarms, they became the target for rocks and bottles. People were waiting on them to come. At 2:00 p.m., Mayor Cavanagh met with community and political leaders at the police headquarters. Until then, there had been hope. Hope that as the people blew off steam, the riot would dissipate. You know, people go home. Now the opinion was nearly unanimous that additional forces would be needed. Yeah. A request was made for state police aid. By 3:00 p.m., 360 more officers were assembling at the armory. At that moment, looting was spreading from the 12th Street area to the other main thoroughfares. There was no lack of the disinfected to help spread it. Although not yet as hard-pressed as Newark, Detroit was like Newark, losing population. Its prosperous middle-class whites was moving to the suburbs and being replaced by unskilled Negro migrants. Between 1960 and 1967, the Negro population rose from just under 30% to an estimated 40% of the total. In a decade, the school system had gained 50,000 to 60,000 children. 51% of the elementary school classes was overcrowded. Simply to achieve the statewide average, the system needed 1,650 more teachers and 1,000 additional classrooms. The combined cost would be $63 million. Of 300,000 school children, 171,000 or 57% were Negro. According to the Detroit Superintendent of Schools, 25 different school districts surrounding the city spend up to $500 more per pupil, per child, per year than Detroit. In the inner city schools, more than half the pupils who entered high school became dropouts for some reason, one reason or the other. Yep, I was a dropout myself. Yep. The strong union structure had created excellent conditions for most working men, but had left others, such as civil service and government workers, comparatively disadvantaged and dissatisfied. In June, the blue flu, the blue flu had struck the city as police officers, forbidden to strike, had staged a sick out. In September, the teachers were to go on strike. The starting wages for a plumber's helper were almost equal to the salary of a police officer or a teacher. Yeah, you might well be a plumber's helper. Yeah. Some unions, traditionally closed to Negroes, zealously guarded training opportunities. Some unions, traditionally closed to Negroes, zealously, zealously, zealously. Yeah, I can't say it. It's just a funny word. Zealously guarded training opportunities. In January of 1967, the school system notified 6 apprenticeship trades. It would not open any new apprenticeship classes unless a large number of Negroes were included. By fall, some of the programs were still closed. High school diplomas from inner city schools were regarded by personnel directors as less than valid. In July, unemployment was at a 5-year peak. In the 12th Street area, it was estimated to be between 12 and 15% for Negro men and 30% or higher for those under 25. The more education a Negro had, the greater the disparity between his income and that of a white with the same level of education. So it's like the more money he made, the more money white folks made because they had to always have more. Yeah. We should have kept doing for us, kept building for us, kept working for us, helping us. The income of whites and Negroes with a 7th grade education was about equal. The median income of whites with a high school diploma was $16,000 more per year than that of the Negroes. White college graduates made $26,000 more, $2,600, I mean. Yeah, the median income of whites with a high school diploma was $1,600 more per year than that of the Negroes. White college graduates made $2,600 more. See, I was saying thousands, wasn't it? Yeah, it's hundreds. $1,600 more and $2,600 more in a year. But that made a lot of difference. You know, imagine somebody of the same, actually, you probably got more education than they did, knew more than they did, but they get almost $3,000 more every year than you do. See, they ain't never been fair with us. We ain't never been treated sincerely. In fact, so far as income was concerned, it made very little difference to a Negro man whether he had attended school for 8 years or for 12 years. In the fall of 1967, a study conducted at one inner city high school, Northwestern, showed that although 50% of the dropouts had found work, 90% of the 1967 graduating class was unemployment. They were unemployed. Mayor Cavanagh had appointed many Negroes to key positions in his administration, but in elective offices, the Negro population was still underrepresented. Of 9 councilmen, 1 was a Negro. Of 7 school board members, 2 were Negroes. Although federal programs had brought nearly $360 million to the city between 1962 and 1967, the money appeared to have had little impact at the grassroots. Urban renewal, for which $38 million had been allocated, was opposed by many residents of the poverty area. Because of its financial straits, the city was unable to produce on promises to correct such conditions as poor garbage collection and bad street lighting. Which brought constant complaints from Negro residents. On 12th Street, Carl Perry, the Negro proprietor of a drugstore and photography studio, was dispensing ice cream, sodas, and candy to the youngsters streaming in and out of his store. For safekeeping, he had brought the photography equipment from his studio in the next block to the drugstore. The youth milling about repeatedly assured him that although the market next door had been ransacked, his place of business was in no danger. In mid-afternoon, the market was set afire. Soon after, the drugstore went up in flames. State Representative James Del Rio, a Negro, was camping out in front of a building he owned when 2 small boys, neither one of them no more than 10 years old, approached. One prepared to throw a brick through a window. Del Rio stopped him. "That building belongs to me," he said. "I'm glad you told me, baby, because I was just about to bust you in," the youngster replied. Some evidence that criminal elements were organizing spontaneously to take advantage of the riot began to manifest itself. A number of cars were noted to be returning again and again, their occupants methodically looting stores. Months later, goods stolen during the riot were still being peddled. A spirit of carefree nihilism, Nihilism, a spirit of carefree nihilism was taking hold. Wow, what kind of word is that? Nihilism. I'm going to remember that. Is that kind of like savage and ravishing? It's probably something of that ilk, though, ain't it? Well, let's read. To riot and to destroy appear more and more to become ends in themselves. Late Sunday afternoon, it appeared to one observer that the young people were dancing amidst the flames. A Negro plainclothes officer was standing at an intersection when a man threw a Molotov cocktail into a business establishment. At the corner, in the heat of the afternoon, fanned by the 20 to 30 degree mile per hour winds on both Sunday and Monday, the fire reached the home next door within minutes. As residents uselessly sprayed the flames with garden hoses, the fire jumped from roof to roof to roof to roof of adjacent 2- and 3-story buildings. Within the hour, the entire block was in flames. Everything. The 9th house in the burning row belonged to the arsonist who had thrown the Molotov cocktail. He took his little ass 9 houses down, threw the Molotov, and the flames jumped from roof to roof to roof and went right back to his house. Ain't nobody finna get away. Everything that happened, yeah. Wow. In some areas, residents organized rifle squads to protect firefighters. Elsewhere, especially as the wind whipped flames began to overwhelm the Detroit Fire Department and more residences burned, the firemen were subjected to curses and rock throwing. Because of a lack of funds on a per capita basis, the department is one of the smallest in the nation. In comparison to Newark, where approximately 1,000 firemen patrol an area of 16 square miles with a population of 400,000 people, Detroit's 1,700 firemen must cover a city of 140 square miles with a population of 1.6 million people. Because the department had no mutual aid agreement with surrounding communities, it could not quickly call, for reinforcements from outlying areas. And it was almost 9 o'clock p.m. before the first help even arrived. At one point, out of a total of 92 pieces of Detroit firefighting equipment and 56 brought in from surrounding communities, only 4 engine companies were available to guard areas of the city outside the riot perimeter. As the afternoon progressed, the fire department's radio carried repeated messages of apprehension and orders of caution. This is what it said. There's no police protection here at all. There isn't a policeman in the area. If you have trouble at all, pull out. Oh, let me read that again because this is distress, right? You know what I said? We got to read, Can't just be reading through it like we're reading the recipe. And this is the fire. And they warning each other and stuff. So they said, there's no police protection here at all. There isn't a policeman in the area. If you have trouble at all, pull out. We're being stoned at the scene. It's going good. We need help. Protect yourselves. Proceed away from the scene. Engine 42 over at Linwood and Gladstone. They are throwing bottles at us. So we are getting out of the area. All companies without police protection. All companies without police protection. Orders are to withdraw. Do not try to put out the fires. I repeat, all companies without police protection. Orders are to withdraw. Do not try to put out the fires. Then it's got exclamation point. It was 4:30 p.m. when the firemen, some of them exhausted by the heat, abandoned an area of approximately 100 square blocks on either side of 12th Street. On both sides of 12th Street to await protection from the police and National Guardsmen. So the firemen pulled out and waited for protection. During the course of the riot, firemen were to withdraw 283 times. During the course of the riot, firemen were to withdraw 283 times. What the hell did they even go for? Let's read. Fire Chief Charles J. Quinlan estimated that at least 2/3 of the buildings were destroyed by spreading fires rather than fires set at the scene. You know how the fire jumped from roof to roof? Of the 683 structures involved, approximately 1/3 were residential, and in few, if any, of these was the fire set originally. Governor George Romney, Romney, flew over the area between 8:30 and 9 o'clock p.m. Wasn't it somebody, a politician some years ago named Mitch Romney or Mick Romney or something like that? I remember seeing it when I used to look at MSNBC many years ago. Before I woke up and realized they lying. They ain't telling us nothing we even need to know. But yeah, that's the same name. That's how it's spelled too. Romney. Governor George Romney flew over the area between 8:30 and 9 o'clock p.m. It looked like the city had been bombed on the west side and there was an area 2.5 miles by 3.5 miles with major fires, entire blocks in flames. Yeah, he told the commission. In the midst of chaos, there were some unexpected individual responses. 24-year-old E.G., a Negro born in Savannah, Georgia, had come to Detroit in 1965 to attend Wayne State University. Rebellion had been building in him for a long time because you just had to bow down to the white man. When the insurance man would come by, he would always call out to my mother by her first name, and we were expected to smile and greet him happily. Man, I know he would never have thought of me or my father going to his home and calling his wife by her first name. Then I once saw a white man slapping a young pregnant Negro woman on the street with such force that she just spun around and fell. I'll never forget that. When a friend called to tell him about the riot on 12th Street, E.G. went there expecting a true revolt, but was disappointed as soon as he saw the looting begin. I wanted to see the people really rise up in revolt. When I saw the first person coming out of the store with things in his arms, I got really sick to my stomach and wanted to go home. Rebellion against the white suppressors is one thing, but one measly pair of shoes or some food completely ruins the whole concept. E.G. was standing in a crowd watching firemen work when Fire Chief Alvin Wall called out for help from the spectators. E.G. responded. His reasoning was, no matter what color someone is, whether they are green, pink, or blue, I'd help them if they were in trouble. That's all it is to it. He worked with the firemen for 4 days, the only Negro in an all-white crew. Elsewhere, at scattered locations, a half dozen other Negro youths pitched in to help the firemen too. At 4:30 p.m., Mayor Cavanagh requested that the National Guard be brought into Detroit. Although a major portion of the Guard was in its summer encampment 200 miles away, several hundred troops were conducting their regular weekend drill in the city. You know, that circumstance obviated. O-B-V-I-A-T-E-D. I ain't never seen that word before. That circumstance obviated. And that's O-B-V-I-A-T-E-D. Obviated many programs. The first troops were on the streets by 7 o'clock p.m. At 7:45, the mayor issued a proclamation instituting a 9 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock a.m. curfew. At 9:07 p.m., the first sniper fire was reported. Gunfire. Following his aerial survey of the city, Governor Romney, at or shortly before midnight, proclaimed that a state of public emergency exists in the cities of Detroit, Highland Park, and Hamtramck. 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 At 4:45 p.m., a 68-year-old white shoe repairman. At 4:45 p.m., a 68-year-old white shoe repairman, George Messerlin, Messerlin, George Messerlin had seen looters carrying clothes from a cleaning establishment next to his shop. Armed with a saber, he had rushed into the street, flailing away at the looters. One Negro youth was nicked on the shoulder. Another one, who had not even been on the scene, inquired as to what had happened. After he had been told, he allegedly replied, "I'll get the old man for you." Going up to Messerlin, who had fallen or been knocked to the ground, the youth began to beat him with a club. 2 other Negro youths dragged the attacker away from the old man. It was too late. Messerlin died 4 days later in the hospital. At 9:15 p.m., a 16-year-old Negro boy, superficially wounded while looting, became the first reported gunshot victim. At midnight, Sharon George, a 23-year-old white woman, together with her 2 brothers, was a passenger in a car being driven by her husband. After having dropped off 2 Negro friends, They were returning home on one of Detroit's main avenues when they were slowed by a milling throng in the street. A shot fired from close range struck the car. The bullet splintered in Miss George's body. She died less than 2 hours later. An hour before midnight, a 45-year-old white man, Walter Granker, Zanka, Grzanka, a 45-year-old white man, Walter Granker, together with 3 white companions, went into the street. Shortly thereafter, a market was broken into. Inside the show window, a Negro man began filling bags with groceries and handing them to Confederates outside the store. Granker twice went over to the store, accepted bags, and placed them down beside his companions across the street. On the third occasion, he entered the market. When he emerged, the market owner, driving by in his car, shot and killed him. In Zanker's pockets, police found 7 cigars, 4 packages of pipe tobacco, and 9 pairs of shoelaces. Before dawn, 4 other looters were shot, one of them accidentally while struggling with a police officer. A Negro youth and a National Guardsman were injured by gunshots of undetermined origin. I don't know where they came from. A private guard shot himself while pulling his revolver from his pocket. In the basement on the 13th Precinct Police Station, a cue ball thrown by an unknown assailant cracked against the head of a sergeant. At about midnight, 3 white youths, armed with a shotgun, had gone to the roof of their apartment building. They're on the roof of their apartment building, located in an all-white block, in order, they said, to protect the building from fire. At 2:45 a.m., a patrol car carrying police officers and National Guardsmen received a report of snipers on the roof. As the patrol car arrived, the manager of the building went to the roof to tell the youth that they had better come on down. The law enforcement personnel surrounded the building, some going to the front, some going to the rear. As the manager, together with the 3 youths, descended the fire escape in the rear, a National Guardsman, believing he heard shots from the front, fired his gun. His shot killed 23-year-old Clifton Pryor, Pryer. Early in the morning, a young white fireman and a 49-year-old Negro homeowner were killed by falling power lines. By 2 a.m. Monday, Detroit police had been augmented by 800 state police officers and 1,200 National Guardsmen. An additional 8,000 Guardsmen were on the way. Nevertheless, Governor Romney and Mayor Cavanagh decided to ask for federal assistance. At 2:15 a.m., the mayor called Vice President Hubert Humphrey and was referred to Attorney General Ramsey Clark. A short time thereafter, telephone contact was established between Governor Romney and the Attorney General. I know there's a lot happening. There is some difference of opinion about what occurred next. According to the Attorney General's office, the governor was advised of the seriousness of the request and told that the applicable federal statute required that before federal troops could even be brought into the city, he would have to state that the situation had deteriorated to the point that local and state forces could no longer maintain law and order. According to the governor, he was under the impression that he was being asked to declare that a state of insurrection existed in the city. Oh, and you know, Trump is going to replace, Project 2025 is going to replace the law enforcement on the protesters, under the insurrection, I think it's 1807. Project 2025 is going to deploy the military for the use of domestic law enforcement against protesters under the Insurrection Act of 1807. Yeah, and that's right there. But this right here, it might be something different. I don't know. Let's read. The governor was unwilling to make such a declaration, contending that if he did, insurance policies would not cover the loss incurred as a result of the riot. He and the mayor decided to reevaluate the need for federal troops to even come. Contact between Detroit and Washington was maintained throughout the early morning hours. At 9 p.m., as the disorder still showed no signs of abating, the governor and the mayor decided to make a renewed request for federal troops. Shortly before noon, the President of the United States authorized the sending of a task force of paratroops to Self Ridge Air Force Base near the city. A few minutes past 3 o'clock p.m., Lieutenant General John L. Throckmorton, 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 commander of Task Force Detroit, met Cyrus Vance, former Deputy Secretary of Defense, at the airbase. Approximately an hour later, the first federal troops arrived at the airbase. After meeting with state and municipal officials, Mr. Vance, General Throckmorton, Governor Romney, and Mayor Cavanagh made a tour of the city, which lasted until 7:15 p.m. During this tour, Mr. Vance and General Throckmorton independently came to the conclusion that since they had seen no looting or sniping, since the fires seemed to be coming under control, and since a substantiated number of National Guardsmen had not yet been committed, injection of federal troops would be premature. As the riot alternatively waxed and waned, it'd stir up and then it'd run down and stuff. One area of the ghetto remained insulated. On the northeast side, the residents of some 150 square blocks inhabited by 21,000 persons had in 1966 banded together in the Positive Neighborhood Action Committee, PNAC. With professional help from the Institute of Urban Dynamics, they had organized block clubs and made plans for the improvements of the neighborhood. In order to meet the needs for recreational facilities, the city was not providing. They had raised $3,000 to purchase empty lots for playgrounds. Although opposed to urban renewal, they had agreed to co-sponsor with the Archdiocese of Detroit, ARCHDIOCESE, Archdiocese of Detroit, a housing project to be controlled jointly by the Archdiocese and the PNAC. When the riot broke out, the residents, through the block clubs, were able to organize quickly. Youngsters, agreeing to stay in the neighborhood, participated in detouring traffic. While many persons reportedly sympathized with the idea of a rebellion against the system, only 2 small fires were set, one in an empty building. During the daylight hours Monday, 9 more persons were killed by gunshots elsewhere in the city, and many others were seriously or critically injured. 23-year-old Nathaniel Edmonds, a Negro, was sitting in his backyard when a young white man stopped his car, got out, and began an argument with him. A few minutes later, declaring he was going to paint his picture on him with a shotgun, the white man allegedly shotgunned Edmonds to death. Mrs. Nannie Pack, NANNIEPACK, and Mrs. Maddie Thompson, MATTIETHOMAS, Maddie Thomas, was sitting on the porch of Mrs. Pack's house when police began chasing looters from a nearby market. During the chase, officers fired 3 shots from their shotguns, running and shooting. The discharge from one of these accidentally struck the 2 women. Both were still in the hospital weeks later. Included among those critically injured when they were accidentally trapped in the line of fire were an 8-year-old Negro girl and a 14-year-old white boy. As darkness settled Monday, the number of incidents reported to police began to rise again. Although many turned out to be false, several involved injuries to police officers, National Guardsmen, and civilians by gunshots of undetermined origin. Watching the upward trend of reported incidents, Mr. Vance and General Throckmorton became convinced federal troops should be used, and President Johnson was so advised. At 11:20 p.m., the president signed a proclamation federalizing the Michigan National Guard and authorizing the use of paratroopers. At this time, there were nearly 5,000 guardsmen in the city, but fatigue, lack of training, and the haste with which they had to be deployed reduced their effectiveness. Some of the guardsmen traveled 200 miles and then were on duty for 30 hours straight. Some had never even received riot training and were given on-the-spot instructions on mob control, only to discover that there were no mobs and that the situation they did face on the darkened streets was one for which they were unprepared. Commanders committed men as they became available, often in small groups. In the resulting confusion, some units was lost in the city. 2 guardsmen assigned to an intersection on Monday were discovered still there on Friday. 5 days, still there. Lessons learned by the California National Guard 2 years earlier in Watts regarding the danger of overreaction and the necessity of great restraint in using weapons had not, apparently, been passed on to the Michigan National Guard. The young troopers could not be expected to know what a danger they were creating by the lack of fire discipline, not only to the civilian population, but to themselves. A Detroit newspaper reporter who spent the night riding in a command jeep told a commissioned investigator of machine guns being fired accidentally, street lights being shot out by rifle fire, and buildings being sieged, being placed under siege on the sketchiest reports of sniping. Troopers would fire, and immediately from the distance, there would be answering fire, sometimes consisting of tracer bullets. In one instance, a newsman related a report was received on the Jeep radio that an Army bus was pinned down by sniper fire at an intersection. National Guardsmen and police, arriving from various directions, jumped out and began asking each other, "Where's the sniper fire coming from? Where's the sniper fire coming from?" As one guardsman pointed to a building, everyone rushed about, taking cover, hiding, getting behind stuff. A soldier, alighting from a Jeep, accidentally pulled the trigger on his rifle. As the shot reverberated through the darkness, an officer yelled, "What's going on? What's going on?" "I don't know," came the answer. "Sniper, I guess." Without any clear authorization or directive, someone opened fire upon the suspected building. A tank rolled up and sprayed the building with 50 caliber tracer bullets. Law enforcement officers rushed into the surrounding building and discovered it empty. "They must be firing one shot and running," was the verdict. Wasn't even nobody in the building. And then they said, "Oh, they must be firing one shot and running away." Well, let's read. The reporter interviewed the men who had gotten off the bus and were crashed around it. They were crashed down and stuff. When he asked them about the sniper incident, he was told that someone had heard a shot. He asked, "Did the bullet hit the bus?" The answer was, "Well, we don't know." Bracketing the hour of midnight Monday, heavy firing, injuring many persons and killing several, occurred in the southeastern sector, which was to be taken over by the paratroopers at 4 a.m. Tuesday, and which was at this time considered to be the most active riot area in the whole city. Employed as a private guard, 55-year-old Julius L. Dorsey, a Negro, was standing in front of a market when accosted by 2 Negro men and a woman. They demanded he permit them to loot the market. He ignored their demands. They began to berate him. He asked a neighbor to call the police. As the argument grew more heated, Dorsey fired 3 shots from his pistol into the air. The police radio reported, looters, they have rifles. A police car driven by a police officer and carrying 3 National Guardsmen arrived. As the looters fled, the law enforcement personnel opened fire. When the firing ceased, one person lay dead. He was Julius L. Dorsey. In 2 areas, one consisting of a triangle formed by Mac, Gratiot, 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 and E. Graham Boulevard, the other surrounding Southeastern High School, firing began shortly after 10 p.m. and continued for several more hours. In the first of the areas, a 22-year-old Negro complained that he had been shot at by snipers. Later, a half a dozen civilians and 1 National Guardsman were wounded by shots of undetermined origin. Henry Denson, Denson, a passenger in a car, was shot and killed when the vehicle's driver, either by accident or intent, failed to heed a warning to halt at a National Guard roadblock. So they had shot him. Similar incidents occurred in the vicinity of Southeastern High School, one of the National Guard staging areas. As early as 10:20 p.m., the area was reported to be under sniper fire. Around midnight, there were 2 incidents, the sequence of which remains in doubt. Shortly before midnight, Ronald Powell, who lived 3 blocks east of the high school and whose wife was momentarily expecting a baby, asked the 4 friends with whom he had been spending the evening to take him home. He, together with Edward Blackshear, Charles Glover, and John Leroy, climbed into Charles Dunson's station wagon for the short drive. Some of the 5 may have been drinking, but none was intoxicated. To the north of the high school, they were halted at a National Guard roadblock and told that they would have to detour around the school and a fire station at Mack and St. Jean Streets because of the firing that had been occurring. Following orders, they took a searcher's route and approached Powell's home from the south. On Lycas Street, Lycas Street, between Charlevoix and Goeth, Charleboix, Charlevoix and Goeth, Goethe. They saw a Jeep sitting at the curb. Believing it to be another roadblock, they slowed down. Simultaneously, a shot rang out. A National Guardsman fell, hit in the ankle. Other National Guardsmen at the scene thought the shot had come from the station wagon. Shot after shot was directed at the vehicle. At least 17 of them finding their mark. All 5 occupants were injured. John Leroy was fatally injured. At approximately the same time, firemen, police, and National Guardsmen at the corner of Mack and St. Jean Streets, 2.5 blocks away, again came under fire from what they believed were rooftop snipers to the southeast, the direction of Charlevoix and Lycas. The police and guardsmen responded with a hail of fire. When the shooting ceased, Carl Smith, a young firefighter, lay dead. An autopsy determined that the shot had been fired at street level and, according to police, probably had come from the southeast. At 4:00 a.m., when paratroopers under the command of Colonel A.R. Bolden, Bolling, arrived at the high school, the area was so dark and still that the colonel thought at first that he had come to the wrong place. Investigating, he discovered National Guard troops, claiming they were pinned down by sniper fire, crouched behind the walls of a darkened building. The colonel immediately ordered all the lights in the building turned on and his troops to show themselves as conspicuously as possible. In the apartment house across the street, nearly every window had been shot out and the walls were pockmarked with bullet holes. The colonel went into the building and began talking to the residents, many of whom had spent the night huddled on the floor. He assured them no more shots would be fired. According to Lieutenant General Throckmorton and Colonel Bolden, the city at this time was saturated with fear. The National Guardsmen were afraid, the residents were afraid, and the police were afraid. Numerous persons, the majority of them Negroes, were being injured by gunshots of undetermined origin. Undetermined origin. Who was shooting black folks? The general and his staff felt that the major task of the troops was to reduce the fear and restore an air of normalcy. In order to accomplish this, every effort was made to establish contact and rapport between the troops and the residents. Troopers, 20% of whom were Negro, began helping to clean up the streets, collect the garbage, and trace persons who had disappeared in the confusion. Residents in the neighborhood responded with soup and sandwiches for the troops. In areas where the National Guard tried to establish rapport with the citizens, there was a similar response. People came out to help. Within hours after the arrival of the paratroopers, the area occupied by them was the quietest in the city, bearing out General Throckmorton's view that the key to quelling a disorder is to saturate an area with calm, determined, and hardened professional soldiers. Loaded weapons, he believed, are unnecessary. Troopers had strict orders not to fire unless they could see the specific person at whom they were aiming. Mass fire was forbidden. During the 5 days in the city, 2,700 Army troops expended only 201 rounds of ammunition, almost all during the last few hours, after which even stricter fire discipline was enforced. In contrast, New Jersey National Guardsmen and the state police extended 13,320 rounds of ammunition in 3 days in Newark. Hundreds of reports of sniper fire, most of them false though, continued to pour into police headquarters. The Army logged only 10. No paratrooper was injured by a gunshot. Only one person was hit by a shot fired by a trooper. He was a young Negro who was killed when he ran into the line of fire as a trooper, aiding police in a raid on an apartment aimed at a person believed to be a sniper. General Throckmorton ordered the weapons of all personnel, military personnel, unloaded, but either the order failed to reach many National Guardsmen or else it was disobeyed. Even as the general was requesting the city to relight the streets, Guardsmen continued shooting out the lights, and there were reports of dozens of shots being fired to dispatch one light. At one such location, as Guardsmen were shooting out the streetlights, a radio newscaster reported himself to be pinned down by sniper fire. On the same day that the general was attempting to restore normalcy by ordering street barricades taken down, Guardsmen on one street were not only in broad daylight ordering people off the streets, but off their porches and stay away from the windows. Probably had them to lay down, just stay down. Get your books, get the baby, get your food, put your TV on the floor, just get down. 2 persons who failed to respond to the order quickly enough were shot, one of them fatally. The general himself reported an incident of a guardsman firing across the bow of an automobile that was approaching a roadblock across the bow. As in Los Angeles 2 years earlier, roadblocks that were ill-lighted and ill-defined, often consisting of no more than a trash barrel or similar object with guardsmen standing nearby, proved a continuous hazard to motorists. At one such roadblock, National Guard Sergeant Larry Post, standing in the street, was caught in a sudden crossfire as his fellow guardsmen opened up on a vehicle. He was the only soldier killed in the riot. With persons of every description arming themselves and guns being fired accidentally or on the vaguest pretext all over the city, it became more and more impossible to tell who was shooting at who. Who the hell is shooting at who? People didn't even know. At that point, didn't nobody have no idea what was going on. No, didn't nobody know nothing. Everybody should just put the damn guns down and just walked away. Everybody should just put the guns down and left. Some firemen began carrying guns. One accidentally shot and wounded a fellow fireman. Another injured himself. Yes, honey, another fireman injured himself. The chaos of a riot and the difficulties faced by police officers are demonstrated by an incident that occurred at 2 o'clock a.m. Tuesday morning. A unit of 12 officers received a call to guard firemen from snipers. When they arrived at the corner of Vicksburg and Linwood in the 12th Street area, the intersection was well lighted by the flames completely enveloping one building. Sniper fire was directed at the officers from an alley to the north, and gun flashes were observed in two buildings. As the officers advanced on the two buildings, patrolman Johnny Hamilton fired several rounds from his machine gun. Thereupon, the officers were suddenly subjected to fire from a new direction, the east. Hamilton, struck by 4 bullets, fell, critically injured in the intersection. As 2 officers ran to his aid, they were shot too. By this time, other units of the Detroit Police Department, State Police, and the National Guard had arrived on the scene, and the area was covered with a hail of gunfire. They came in shooting. In the confusion, the snipers who had initiated the shooting escaped. At 9:15 p.m. Tuesday, July the 25th, 38-year-old Jack Sydnor, Sydnor, a Negro, came home drunk. Taking out his pistol, he fired one shot into an alley. A few minutes later, the police arrived. As his common-law wife took refuge in a closet, Sydnor waited, gun in hand, while the police forced open the door. Patrolman Roger Poike, Poike, the first to enter, was shot by Sydnor. Although critically injured, the officer managed to get off 6 shots in return. Police within the building and on the streets then poured a hail of fire into the apartment. When the shooting ceased, Sydnor's body, riddled by gunfire, was found laying on the ground outside a window. Nearby, a state police officer and a Negro youth were struck and seriously injured by stray bullets. As in other cases where the origin of the shots were not immediately determinable, police reported them as shot by sniper. Reports of heavy sniper fire poured into police headquarters from the 2 blocks surrounding the apartment house where the battle with Jack Sydnor had taken place. National Guard troops with 2 tanks were dispatched to help flush out the snipers. Shots continued to be heard throughout the neighborhood. At approximately midnight, there were discrepancies as to the precise time. A machine gunner on a tank, startled by several shots, asked the assistant gunner where the shots was coming from. The assistant gunner pointed toward a flash in the window of an apartment house from which there had been earlier reports of sniping. The machine gunner opened fire. As the slugs ripped through the window and walls of the apartment, they nearly severed the arm of 21-year-old Valerie Hood. Her 4-year-old niece, Tanya Blandon, toppled dead, a 50 caliber bullet hole in her chest. A few seconds later, 19-year-old Bill Hood, standing in the window, had lighted a cigarette. A few seconds earlier, he had lighted a cigarette. Down the street, a bystander was critically injured by a stray bullet. Simultaneously, the John C. Lodge Freeway, 2 blocks away, was reported to be under sniper fire. Tanks and National Guard troops were sent to investigate. At the Harlan House Motel, 10 blocks from where Tanya Blandon had died a short time earlier, Mrs. Helen Hall, a 51-year-old white businesswoman, opening the drapes on her 4th floor hall window. She opened her drapes on the fourth floor hall window. Calling out to other guests, she exclaimed, "Look at the tanks! Look at the tanks!" She died seconds later as bullets began to slam into the building. As the fire ceased, a 19-year-old Marine carrying a Springfield rifle burst into the building. When accidentally he pushed the rifle barrel through the window, firing commenced anew. A police investigation showed that the Marine, who had just decided to help out the law enforcement personnel, was not involved in the death of Mrs. Hall. Yep. R.R., a white 27-year-old corn dealer, was the owner of an expensive 3-story house on L Street, an integrated middle-class neighborhood. In May of 1966, him and his wife and child had moved to New York and had rented the house to 2 young men. After several months, he had begun to have problems with his tenants. On one occasion, he reported to his attorney that he had been threatened by them. In March of 1967, R.R. instituted eviction proceedings. He wanted them to get out. These were still pending when the riot broke out. Concerned about the house, R.R. decided to fly to Detroit. When he arrived at the house on Wednesday, July the 26th, he discovered the tenants wasn't even at home. He then called his attorney, who advised him to take physical possession of the house, and for legal purposes, to take witnesses along. Together with his 17-year-old brother and another white youth, R.R. went to the house, entered, and began changing the locks on the doors. For protection, they had brought a .22 caliber rifle, which R.R.'s brother took into the cellar and fired into a pillow to test it. Shortly after 8 p.m., R.R. called his attorney to advise him that the tenants had returned, and he had refused to admit them. Thereupon, R.R. alleged the tenants had threatened to obtain the help of the National Guard. The attorney relates that he was not particularly concerned. He told R.R. that if the National Guard did appear, he should have the officer in charge call him, the attorney. At approximately the same time, though, the National Guard claims it received information to the effect that several men had been evicted, the legal occupants of the house, and 9 p.m. Oh, I thought my laptop done cut off. Shortly after 9 p.m., in the half light of dusk, the column of approximately 30 men surrounded the house. A tank took position on the lawn across the street. The captain commanding the column placed in front of the house an explosive device similar to a firecracker. After setting this off, in order to draw the attention of the occupants to the presence of the column, he called for them to come out of the house. No attempt was made to verify the truth or falsehood of the allegations regarding snipers. When the captain received no reply from the house, he began counting to 10. Counting to 10. As he was counting, he said, he heard a shot, the origin of which he couldn't determine. He didn't know where it was coming from. Probably was just a firecracker. Probably wasn't even a shot. Probably was somebody shooting themselves again. But he couldn't determine where the shot come from. A few seconds later, he heard another shot and saw a fire streak coming from an upstairs window. He thereupon gave the order to fire. According to the 3 young men, they were on the second floor of the house and completely bewildered by the barrage of fire that was unleashed against it. As hundreds of bullets crashed through the first and second story windows and ricocheted off the windows, they dashed to the 3rd floor. Protected by a large chimney, they huddled in a closet until, during a lull in the fire, they were able to wave an item of clothing at the window as a sign of surrender. They were arrested as snipers. The fire from rifles and machine guns had been so intense that in a period of a few minutes, it inflicted an estimated $10,000 worth of damage. One of a pair of stone columns was shot nearly in half. The firing from rifles and machine guns had been so intense. Oh, okay, I already read that. Might as well read it again. The firing and rifles from machine guns had been so intense that in a period of a few minutes, it inflicted an estimated $10,000 worth of damage. One of a pair of stone columns was shot nearly in half. And who had the rifles and the machine guns? Jailed at the 10th Precinct Station sometime Wednesday night, R.R. and his two companions were taken from their cell to an alley court. That's police slang. That's police slang for an unlawful attempt to make prisoners confess. A police officer who was resigned from the force allegedly administered such a severe beating to R.R. that the bruises were visible 2 weeks later. R.R.'s 17-year-old brother had his skull cracked open and was thrown back into the cell. He was taken to a hospital only when other arrestees complained that he was bleeding to death. At the preliminary hearing 12 days later, the prosecution presented only one witness, the National Guard captain who had given the order to fire. The police officer who had signed the original complaint was not even asked to take the stand. The charges against all three of the young men were dismissed. Nevertheless, the morning after the original incident, a major metropolitan newspaper in another section of the country composed the following banter story from wire service reports. Detroit, July the 22nd, Thursday. 2 National Guard tanks ripped a sniper's haven with machine guns Wednesday night and flushed out 3 shaggy-haired white youths. Snipers attacked the Guard command post, and Detroit's racial riot set a modern record for bloodshed. The death toll soared to 36, topping the Watts bloodbath of 1966, in which 35 people died, and making Detroit's insurrection the most deadly racial riot in modern U.S. history. In the attack on the snipers' nest, the Guardsmen poured hundreds of rounds of .50 caliber machine gun fire into the home, which authorities said housed arms and ammunition used by West Side sniper squads. Guardsmen recovered guns and ammunition. A reporter with the troopers said the house, a neat brick home in a neighborhood of $20,000 to $50,000 homes, was torn apart by the machine gun and rifle fire. Sniper fire crackled from the home as the Guard unit approached. It was one of the first verified reports of sniping by whites. A pile of loot taken from riot room stores was recovered from the sniper's haven, located 10 blocks from the heart of the 200 square block riot zone. Guardsmen said the house had been identified as a storehouse of arms and ammunition for snipers. Its arsenal was regarded as an indication that the sniping, or at least some of it, was organized. Yep, that's what he said. The newspaper was always inciting. You know, that was all they did. That's all they do now. Same thing. As hundreds of arrestees were brought into the 10th Precinct Station, officers took it upon themselves to carry on investigations and to attempt to extract confessions. Dozens of charges of police brutality emanated from the station as prisoners were brought in uninjured, but later had to be taken to the hospital. In the absence of the precinct commander, who had transferred his headquarters to the riot command post at a nearby hospital, discipline vanished. Prisoners who requested that they be permitted to notify someone of their arrest was almost invariably told that the telephones is out of order. Congressman Conyers and State Representative Del Rio, who went to the station hoping to coordinate with the police the establishment of a community patrol, were so upset by what they saw that they changed their minds and just gave up on the project. A young woman brought into the station was told to strip her clothes. After she had done so, and while an officer took pictures with a Polaroid camera, another officer came up to her and began just fondling her. The negative of one of the pictures, fished out of a wastebasket, subsequently was turned over to the mayor's office. Citing the sniper danger, officers throughout the department had taken off their bright metal badges. They also had taped over the license plates and the numbers of their police cars. Identification of individual officers became virtually impossible. On a number of occasions, officers firing at fleeing looters then made little attempt to determine whether their shots had hit anyone. Later, some of the persons were discovered dead or injured in the streets. They just shooting, moving. Yep, didn't even care to go see if they done injured someone, if they done killed someone. In one such case, police and National Guardsmen were interrogating a youth suspected of arson when, according to the officers, he attempted to escape. As he vaulted over the hood of an automobile, an officer fired his shotgun. The youth disappeared on the other side of the car. Without making an investigation, the officers and the guardsmen returned to their car and just drove off. When nearby residents called police, another squad car arrived to pick up the body. Despite the fact that an autopsy disclosed the youth had been killed by 5 shotgun pellets, only a cursory investigation was made, and the death was attributed to sniper fire. No police officer at the scene during the shooting filed a report. Not until a Detroit newspaper editor presented to the police the statements of several witnesses claiming that the youth had been shot by police after he had been told to run did the department launch an investigation. Not until 3 weeks after the shooting did an officer come forward to identify himself who had fired the fatal shot. Who told him to run? Who made him run for his life? Citing conflicts in the testimony of the score of witnesses, the Detroit prosecutor's office declined to press charges. Prosecution is proceeding in the case of 3 youths in whose shotgun deaths law enforcement personnel were implicated following a report that snipers were firing from the Algiers motel. In fact, there is little evidence that anyone fired from inside the building. 2 witnesses say that they had seen a man standing outside of the hotel fire 2 shots from a rifle. The interrogation of other persons revealed that law enforcement personnel then shot out 1 or more of the street lights. Police patrols responded to the shots. An attack was launched on the motel. The picture is further complicated by the fact that this incident occurred at roughly the same time that the National Guard was directing fire at the apartment house in which Tanya Blanding was killed. The apartment house was only 6 blocks distant from that, and it was in a direct line with the motel. The killings occurred when officers began on-the-spot questioning of the occupants of the motel in an effort to discover weapons used in the sniping. Several of those questions reportedly were beaten. One was a Negro ex-paratrooper who had only recently been honorably discharged and had gone to Detroit to look for a job. Although by late Tuesday, looting and firebombing had virtually ceased. Between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. that night, there were 444 reports of incidents. Most were reports of sniper fire. During the daylight hours of July the 26th, there were 534 such reports. Between 8:30 p.m. and 11 o'clock p.m., there were 255. As they proliferated, the pressure on law enforcement officers to uncover the snipers, as they proliferated, the pressure on law enforcement officers to uncover the snipers became intense. Homes were broken into, searches were made out of the flimsiest of tips. A Detroit newspaper headline aptly proclaimed, "Everyone suspect in no man's land." Before the arrest of a young woman, IBM operator in the city's assessor's office brought attention to the situation on Friday, July the 28th. Any person with a gun in his home was liable to be picked up as a suspect. Of the 27 persons charged with sniping, 22 had charges against them dismissed at preliminary hearings, and the charges against 2 others was dismissed later. One pleaded guilty to possession of an unregistered gun and was given a suspended sentence. Trials of 2 are pending. In all, more than 7,200 persons were arrested. Almost 3,000 of them were picked up on the second day of the riot. And by midnight Monday, 4,000 were incarcerated in makeshift jails. Some were kept as long as 30 hours on buses. Others spent days in an underground garage without toilet facilities. And an uncounted number were people who had merely been unfortunate enough to be on the wrong street at the wrong time. Included were members of the press whose attempts to show their credentials had been ignored. Released later, they were chided for not having exhibited their identification at the time of their arrest. So they were like, "Yeah, you better show your credentials next time. Shit, we'll leave your ass in there. We'll put you in there too." They were like, "We wouldn't have done that if you'd have just showed us, And hopefully they ass came out with some, some pictures and some knowledge of what was going on. But let's read. The booking system proved incapable of adequately handling the large number of arrestees. People became lost for days in the maze of different detention facilities. Until the later stages, bail was set deliberately high, often at $10,000 or more. When it became apparent that this policy was unrealistic and unworkable, the prosecutor's office began releasing on low bail or on their own recognizance hundreds of those who had been picked up. Nevertheless, this fact was not publicized for fear of antagonizing those who had demanded, a high bail policy. They didn't want them to find out. So, they didn't really publicize it. Of the 43 persons who were killed during the riot, 33 were Negro, 10 was white, 17 were looters, of whom 2 was white, 15 citizens, of whom 4 were white, 1 white National Guardsman, 1 white fireman, and 1 Negro private guard died as a result of gunshot wounds. Most of these deaths appear to have been accidental, but criminal homicide is expected in some. 2 persons, including 1 fireman, died as a result of falling power lines. 2 were burned to death. 1 was a drunken gunman, 1 an arson suspect. 1 white man was killed by a rider. 1 police officer was felled by a gunshot blast when a gun in the hands of another officer accidentally discharged during a scuffle with a looter. Action by police officers accounted for 20 and very likely 21 of the deaths. Action by the National Guard counted for 7 and very likely 9. And action by the Army for 1. 2 deaths were the result of action by store owners. 4 persons died accidentally. Riders were responsible for 2 and perhaps 3 of the deaths. A private guard for sure. A private guard for 1. A white man is suspected of murdering a Negro youth. The perpetrator of one of the killings in the Algiers motel remains unknown. Damage estimates originally set as high as $500 million were quickly scaled down. The city's assessor's office placed the loss, excluding business stock, private furnishings, and the buildings of churches and charitable institutions, at approximately $22 million. Insurance payments, according to the State Insurance Bureau, will come to about $32 million, representing an estimated 65% to 75% of the total loss. By Thursday, July the 27th, most riot activity had ended. The paratroopers were removed from the cities on Saturday. On Tuesday, August the 1st, the curfew was lifted and the National Guard moved out. Yeah, we're done with that. Yeah, we finished it, see? Tomorrow night, we will be beginning the next one, which is the development of a riot ideology among urban Negroes. We are practically halfway. Look, we are practically halfway between this book right here. Congratulations, my family. Yes, I thank y'all for y'all patience and your presence. This is it. We coming along. Ooh, it won't be long before we finish this, and we'll be on our next book. I know, right? Yes. Hi, Tadler. How you doing? It's so good to see everybody. Oh, DSB, glad I'm no longer in the military. Was young and dumb when I joined. American slavery versus biblical slavery. Absolute Bible truth. Absolute Bible truth on YouTube. Yep. Y'all are so awesome for just even being here. And so this is how it would be. See, we're interested in us. We are sincerely, truly interested in us. We're interested in our learning. We're interested in progressing, and we're interested in healing us. No matter what nobody say. It might take a while for our babies to get acclimated to this. They haven't heard about all of our heroes. They ain't never heard about Robert Smalls and Robert Purvis. They ain't never heard about none of them. Charles Drew, Dr. Hale, Daniel Hale Williams, the black man who did the first open heart surgery. When the black man, I'm pretty sure it was a black man, he was stabbed in the heart, and then nobody even want to attempt to save him. Then nobody even want to think about it, But Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, they call him Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan did. Dr. Dan opened him up, honey, and performed that surgery. That stab wound sewed it up so good. That man was working in a few weeks. Probably had him a wife and some more babies. Yep. Healed him. Lived a long time. So see, our babies don't know about this, but once we start telling them, honey, their minds just start lightening up, and they come to you with their ideas and what they thinking about and stuff. Don't shush them up. Don't tell them, oh, this ain't what it was about. We didn't learn this. This ain't how it was. We don't know how it was. The way we've been lied to, we need to let their minds be free. And then when they do be free, ask them how the hell we going to get black people out of these Tesla cars. Because, see, we're going to need their inventions, their creators. I mean, when the robot dog got you, or a humanoid robot, Sophia got you, ask our babies when they get to thinking, how we going to get out of this futuristic world here? Put it however you want to put it. But come back and let us know. Because, yes, something is going on. And, honey, we can't leave nothing to chance. Sure can't. Not with our babies. Ain't nobody getting their grips on our kids. Not no more. So, Black America, wake your ass up. Yeah, this is it, honey. But as you can see, though, we interested. We are interested in us. We interested in our healing. No matter what nobody else say. Yeah, this is it. This awakening right here, we didn't bring it on. The cosmos did. The cosmos said, hey, this is going on long enough. We got to step in. And then, white America did it themselves anyway. Everyone did. They the ones out there probing in space. They the one out there probing in space. They literally, by perpetrating these lies and stuff, they literally summoned, the cosmos to awaken. It wasn't nothing we done, because we as a people are too traumatized to do anything. The little bit we can do and we have been doing, that's because of those who still remain resilient in the truth and the loyalty and the education of our people. Only because of them. Because if it wasn't for them, honey, we all would have been forgot. And not even care that we forgot. Because we trying to, keep up with the Joneses. We trying to, that disciplined ignorance. We trying to satisfy that and stuff. But honey, we ain't even got to worry about that no more. Just call on your ancestors. Let it be there. Start there. Just call on. Add it to your prayers and stuff. I already done said it. I ain't going to divide us no more with the religion and stuff. Just keep it to yourself. But y'all, look at this book right here with poems. Questions for Ada. And then I'm going to let y'all go because I know it's like, 3 o'clock. Ijeoma Umebinyuo. Ijeoma Umebinyuo. IJEOMAUMEBINUO. And it is so wonderful. I am too full of life to be half loved. Yep, that was her. It's a little poetry book. Yep, it's a poetry book. Yeah, it is so beautiful though. Look, sister. Well, it ain't even got a title. Just poem number 4. You call me sister, not because you are my blood, but because you understand the kind of tragedies we both have endured to come back into loving ourselves again and again. My sister. Yes. See, all we got to do is read. And it sounds good. We like it. This is from us. Look at here. I keep finding my mother in parts of me I never knew existed. I feel like that sometimes. Like I was on that live one of them black media lives, y'all. And there were 5,000 of us on there. Oh, honey, you could just feel the electricity. It was 5,000 of us on that channel. Oh, y'all, I felt like I was in the room. I felt like we were literally in the room together. But we were just getting the knowledge. Write a poem for your 14-year-old self. Forgive her. Heal her. Free her. Let's do that for our ancestors. For all our ancestors. Not just our young selves. Yeah, not just our young selves. I did put down some of these right here. The woman alone, finding parts of herself she never knew existed, will always be more powerful, honey. So will. Yeah, so, I just wanted to read some of those right there and stuff. I just want us to really wake up and, and see our greatness. Know that we are the miracle. Because we really the only miracle that's going to save us. And how does destroying yourself prove your worth to others? And I had this card in here because I think I wanted to read that poem right there to us. How does destroying yourself, Black America, prove your worth to other people? How? How does destroying us and our people, our future generations, our babies, our garden, how does that show our worth to other people? It don't. Yeah. And I'm going to let us go. Yeah, because I keep us here all night. We'll all be sleeping. Yeah, we will all be sleeping. I just want us to keep the faith. Keep our eyes on the prize. Everybody else is. Honey, we got every reason to pay attention to us so we can heal us. Yeah, I know a lot going on in the world and stuff, but let's just keep our focus on us. We're going to pay attention to it. We got to get ready for it. We got to prepare for what's coming. But let's not forsake us to do it. Okay, let's do it together. Peace and power to the people. Yeah. Oh, at Tadler. Oh, yeah. Yeah. TikTok is out of here. Yep. America is traveling the world. Americans are traveling the world. Do you know what is happening with TikTok? Yep. The world is in chaos. Yep. The world is in chaos all over. Everybody crazy as hell. Everybody violent. And in my opinion, everybody got this mentality. Tattler. That's what's going on. Everybody got this mentality right here. You know, this right here has been projected on everybody all over the world. Hell, Hitler. I didn't even know it. Hitler even got his ideas from American, evilness, the savagery. So yeah, TikTok is out of here and stuff, but I don't know where do we need to go? I don't know if black people is even welcome in China and stuff. I don't know. I ain't never even been out of America. We just have to decide those things for ourselves. Black people, black Americans, we have to decide those things. But I know one thing: we better go where we at. We better go where we at. Yeah, we don't had enough going everywhere else, in my opinion. But yeah, I hope to see y'all tomorrow though. Peace and power to the people.